Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Graz. We're having today the youth finals, U12 and U14. My name is David Patterson, and I'm here with Bernhard Reitelena. Hello, Bernhard.
Hello, everybody.
We are. He's going to be hosting with me and guiding you through this final of the U12 and U14. They had qualifiers this morning in the timing wall of Boulder Club, where you, Bernhard, were having a look at how they were doing. How was it, the first qualifying run for these young
First
athletes?
quarterfinal round U12, always exciting because I guess the hardest age group to set. The span is so big, so much strong young athletes, and you really don't know what you get when you're setting those classes.
True. I mean, the morphologies they are a lot smaller, and also they're quite varied. As we can see in the athletes, some of them are quite tall, uh,
No, look at.
like for example,
I guess we get a
Cherna.
good example.
Penny Cherna is one of the taller athletes, and then we have another one from Steiermark, which is really a lot shorter. But
Yeah, and in the end, you just want to give every climber the possibility that they can do the boulder.
uh,
They can work their way around.
and do you think it was a hard set of a hard set of boulders for them in the morning, or they had a little bit in the easier side?
It was proper. I mean, we had tops on uh, 4 of the 5 qualified boulders. So, for qualification round, quite proper. And yeah, we'll see what they put up in the finals.
Yes, we had a lot of competitors actually in the morning. I think it was 16 female and around 24 on the male athletes and the youth 12, and 11 qualified. This is one more than what it normally would be. Can you explain us a little bit why are we having 11 instead of 10 that we would normally have?
Uh, yeah, this time it's different because we had the summer sessions in June and July at all gyms in Styria. Where the co- yeah, the broad audience could qualify for the semifinals for these masters. So we had one boy and one girl in each age group that they can go directly to the final and skip the qualification round.
Yes, if somebody has a little bit of a question what's going on here in Graz, we are under the Packwix Bloc Summer motto. This is because this year Graz was the city of the sports, and
Yeah,
there
we
has
got a
been
big sports here from the city, so we had a huge chance, huge opportunity to make this event happening. I mean, we already had a wonderful evening yesterday with the states championships, nationals. It was an exciting show, and today the youngsters are up the age, and it already makes fun to see them come in and have the smile on their faces.
yeah, they have so much excitement. Yesterday we had around 1,800 people watching and cheering all these young athletes in the Bloc Summer Masters and the Bloc in the Summer Nationals. Sorry. Yes, and we
The
had
summer sessions.
yeah we have Francis
A lot of
Steger
S.
who dominated the whole round and Johan Luca Posch. But today we have the younger ones. These are the future generations, and they are quite happy, as we can see, to be able to compete here in the middle of the city in Graz. And they're
And I guess for all of them, I mean, they are under 12. It's a huge opportunity. They get the same stage as the professionals, the idols. Here we got one of our favorites in the class,
Yes, that
young
was
Mr. Leitner.
Julian Leiner, who already climbed several A days here in Austria. And yeah, he's proper one of the favorites when it comes to the men. He actually got the best score, and as we see here, we are having the female athletes with the different countries where they come from, and they are having nonetheless but a minute, 2 minutes of observation per boulder. And we will having a setting with 4 boulders and 4 minutes per boulder. And
That's the normal final mode.
exactly.
Same as the adults.
And we will
no excuses there.
and we will be having one female and one male at the same time coming out per time. And those are the young athletes checking and discussing options and different solutions.
Yeah, different solutions. I mean, with the ladies, I'm gonna call them ladies because they need to behave like grown-ups on the big stage. They start with the slab, tricky pressing, and the boys on the left side go for the overhang. We'll see how much the morphology comes in.
Yeah, could you explain us a little bit what you guys intended, because you were one of the route setters for the youth team. What was the intended idea in this men's one, please?
This one, with the big black hole, the jug, you don't see it actually now because they stand in the front of the big foot bubble where you start. You put a big swing, grab the undercling and go over in those big round jugs, kind of jugs. The left one is a little juggy, right one rather crimpy, crimpy slopey. And then powerful way to the top. Yeah, side pull, undercling crimp, good body tension, get up and just get to the top.
Yes, and
will be a dynamic move.
We can see there are quite a lot of holds. You guys have had to do some adaptations because these boulders are going to be also for the U14, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the all white one is for the U14, and white and black holes are for U12. It's a similar theme all over the whole round because we just have a little bit more than 20 minutes to spare between the finals. So both boulders are already in.
Exactly. For time of logistics, you will have to adapt some boulders. It's not viable otherwise to do it.
Yeah, so both are in, and the U12 can use all the holds that are in, but the tops are different.
We have just been granted the tablet to keep scores updated for you guys and girls, so we can keep you up to date. And that's the female too. Can you please run us a little bit? It looks like a more dynamic.
Yeah, way more dynamic. Actually, just 2 sections. First one, run in. Curious if the bigger ones can press it out, so make a huge shoulder span. And the smaller ones have to do like a 1-2 step, grab left, right hand, compress it, stabilize the position, and then they go up. I mean, they also can help themselves with the left volume. Maybe they find the toe hook there. And from there on, pressing the side pull, getting the good crimp, and one move with courage to the top. Or rather to the big balls, and then it's an easy move to the top. The huge slopers there.
Yeah, it looks.
It's always funny when you set big slopers for kids. Hands are so much smaller, and the other way around if you set tiny crimps for the kids.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit careful with
the chucks, and
they can hold, right?
Get to just a blank wall.
Yeah,
we'll see how they deal with
when it comes to set,
quite sure we will see some tops on this too.
When it comes to set for children of this caliber, you have to be careful with the fingers that they don't get injuries, because an injury on the fingers at this age could cause several problems. But also when they are climbing, they're on really hard boulders. You have to where is like the barrier? Where do you draw the line?
The good thing is we've been setting with Patrick Sommer and Fabian Loy, both train the youth cadres. Patrick Sommer in Styria, and Fabian Loy in Tyrol, and they get a good feel how strong the stronger athletes are, and then you try to adjust. You test a lot, obviously. As always, route setting without testing. This is not going to work.
Yes, the route setters and the youth team have been, as Bentner was saying, Patrick Sommer, Fabian Leo, Anja Sevinek from Slovenia, and yourself.
Yeah.
How was to work with the women? I guess this brings a lot of a different spectrum into where it comes to ideas. She's also a little bit smaller. She has different abilities. Is it nice to have a woman in the team, or do you think that it doesn't make any difference?
Does, obviously, because just for example, just going the difference between crimps and slopers. If you have smaller fingers, you just can hold smaller crimps way easily. And the difference is with the slopers, you need to compress, you need a big span or big pinches. It gets tricky. So if you have somebody on your team who has a different variety of hands and sizes, it's the same for small and for big also. It's always good to have somebody who's really big on your route setting team, because then you can check out if they can cheat, if the tall guys can really cheat it.
Yes, talking about compression, can you run us through this men's boulder 3, please?
Yeah, men 3, they're gonna need a lot of body tension there, because slopey side pulls, I mean, they're quite good, but all side pulls, always pressing with the feet against the barn door. And then when they finished after those 3 side pulls, they go up to this. There are 2 crimps, spucks mounted on the big cheetah volume where the zone is. And I guess if they get to the zone, they will make the top.
Yes, if
but for the lower part, they will need a lot of body tension to stay in. We'll see how that suits them.
Yeah, if somebody is wondering why they're not trying to grab all the other holds, they're only able to touch the first 4 holds which have a piece of tape. Those 4 tapes represent the 4 limbs, like the 2 arms and the 2 legs. And when you start, you have to have a proper, you can decide where you place your legs or your feet, but you have to have a controlled start. Every single attempt starts counting as soon as you leave all limbs from the floor. And the scoring system works. You get 2 main different points. The first is the zone, which is awarded a little bit higher with a pink tape, like we're seeing now on top of these young athletes, the big round hold with a pink tape. You get awarded for these points, and then the very last hold at the top, that is the top hold. And for this you get the most of the points, and the scoring system works really easily. The most tops gets the most points. If we have to separate the climbers, then it goes down to the number of zones. If we still would have to separate the climbers, it would come to the number of attempts it took them to get to the top. If then we still have to separate them, then to the number of attempts it took to the zone. And if still not decided, then we would have to go for count back to the previous round. We have been just reported that the competition will start 4 minutes later. There's some last adjustments that they have to do. And that was the observation for all the athletes. They will go back into isolation, and then we will have 1 men and 1 women's athletes coming on every single 4 minutes. Then we'll have 4 minutes of rest, and then they will go back again. Hello.
Ein Riesendankeschön nochmal an die Routensetzer Patrick Sommer, Fabian Loy, Anja Serbinek, Bernhard, Reiterlena. Unermüdlich waren sie am Arbeiten die letzten Tage, nicht nur hier am Regenplatz, sondern auch im Boulderflug, wo die Qualifikation stattfindet.
And there we see Fabian on boulder number 3 for the women. He's doing a little adjustment. Probably maybe there is some kind of like little hole that he's covering so that you don't use the thumb or stick the finger.
Yeah, that's actually something I forgot. Fabian has to put in the effort for me. I was putting up the hold. But all those bolt holes are really nice 1-finger pockets.
And here we see Georg Palmer. He will be helping us to guide you through the U14. And he's taking a look. He was this morning qualifying for the semi-finals that we will be retransmitting tomorrow in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we will have the finals of the Bloc Summers. And we are already going through the mid of this whole 4 days of competitions. Started with the Austrian Masters. Today we're having the youth team. And tomorrow we will have the U16 and the Bloc Summers, where is an international competition. And people like the caliber of Steiger or Fanny Givet or Jan Beton and Sandra Ledner, for example, they will be joining tomorrow, and we will be able to see all these big and strong athletes, not only the women but also the men. And those are the minutes left till we start. 2:50 on the clock. How have you been dealing with skiing, Bernhard? Setting a lot of problems and testing. I mean, it's not like you're testing for yourself, you're testing for children, so you have to be adjusting a lot. How do you deal with skiing temperatures like this? It's been boiling today. The whole 3 days has been absolutely warm.
I think the finals on the Maria-Hilfer-Platz itself very hot. Bad for the skin, just bad. So you get the pinkies after the first days, and then you try to tape, try to keep on. Skin is not there anymore.
Do you set the boulders for the younger ones a little bit easier to the older ones, or do you just do adjustments in referring to the size of the span, the arm span?
It's tough to talk about easy when you go about comp boulders, because they are strong U12 guys and the girls, so we wouldn't say easy. And a lot of, I guess a lot of grown-ups will struggle on those boulders.
And here we are seeing the list of the U12, the men's. We're starting with Gabriel Clay, then Matteo Falsch, Julian Plieger, Fia Gruber, Simon Petter, Raphael Hubmann, Joel Stark, Nikolaus Ochner, Jakob Butcher, and Darian Luca. And last but not least, Julian Leitner. In none more than 1 minute, we will start our finals of the youth men and youth female for the Bloc Summers, taking place here in Graz, on the east city of Austria. We're in the county of Styria. The day is pretty good. The conditions have been softened a little bit down. It was really warm, and now has been raining a lot. A little bit of breeze also.
It was good, like 1 hour ago. It put the humidity out of the air.
Hopefully this holes didn't get too warm, and the conditions are pretty okay. So hopefully we're gonna see tops. Where is your money, Bernhard? Who are you betting for?
Oh, I don't bet. But if I would have to, for the boys, obviously Julian. Yeah. Also, Darian was in the qualification. Duca Darian was quite convincing. We'll see what he puts up.
Yes, and we start now with Katharina Ohlenschläger and Clay Amlache Gabriel. If somebody's wondering how overhanging the wall is, if we start from the very, very far right, where Katharina is starting, that's like a slab, and it's the one that has got a negative angle. And as soon as we move slowly to the left, to the middle, we have a slight overhanging. Moving to the far left, where Clay Amlache Gabriel is starting, that is the most overhanging with the 30 degree. And here we go with the first start. Let's see what he can do out of it.
See if he needs to jump or if he can match it.
He will probably have to jump a little bit more. He's a little bit shorter and not being able to reach. And for anybody, we will have a little bit of a split screen so that you all can follow each athlete properly on every single boulder. Let's see if he goes for a bit more of a jump He tried to reach it statically, but couldn't quite make it clay. Amlacher Gabriel. This time he was a lot closer.
We're getting there.
And here we go. Katarina, sorry to stop you. Katarina has just reached the zone, but just slipped out. That was looking pretty promising. Don't forget to be able to get awarded a zone or a top. You have to control and utilize the hold. For the zone you have to utilize it, and for the top you have to have it in a stable position with both hands until the referee gives you the green light that you have topped the boulder.
Yeah, Katarina not quite able to move over and get the right direction to push on this zone hold. I don't know if you people watching know this holds, quite famous, cheetah boomerangs.
Yeah.
Nasty slopey crimps. How to put it? Is this something, a slopey crimp? Does something like this exist?
Yeah, crimp could be slopey also, right? Yeah, those are all new holds. They have been bought and only for this competition. They will be also used in Blockhouse and Boulder Club in Newton, and everybody can have a taste of these holds.
Gabriel had a nice try. I guess now he knows what to do, that he needs to get up with both hands, right hand, left hand.
Still a minute for these young athletes. Let's see if we can get awarded the zone. Last 40 seconds for the youth athletes, and get a warm applause from the audience. Ooh, he was getting really close now. The young athlete from Carinthia. I mean, it's the final, right? So they have to give it everything. Do you do a lot of competitions also, Bernhard?
You mean competing myself?
Yes, yes.
Almost none. Like 2 times. Because I started quite late into climbing, and if you start too late, you can only go into setting.
And those were the first athletes, and we will be moving with Lori Stolz and Matteo Fasch for boulder number 1. Let's see what they can do out of these boulders.
Yeah, Matteo is here with a huge crew. Huge crew. A lot of people from, I guess they are from Völkerbruck. Is this correct? No.
They are from Lower Austria.
Lower Austria, not Völkerbruck, from Eichgraben.
And let's see what Lori Stolz can do on the first boulder on the slab. That was looking like a disgusting small crimp.
It is. Yeah.
She needs to utilize the zone.
Curious if she goes for the shoulder press. Yeah, here you go. That's solid.
Looking good now. She will be awarded the zone. Matteo not quite reaching with the body.
A little too excited.
And Matteo not making quite enough height in order to achieve the 2 holds, the 2 360 holds, big spheres.
In diesem Finale haben die Athletinnen und Athleten 4 Minuten Zeit, pro Bouldering zu klettern. Insgesamt gibt es 11 Burschen und 11 Mädels, die da einen Platz, eine Top-Platzierung.
Remember, they had 4 minutes to complete every boulder, and they had also previous observation where they discussed different ideas.
On the slab. She knows how to get the zone. Take your time. Yes, that's nice. Another nasty crimp.
And Lori looking pretty promising here.
Come on. And there are 2 peppers up there. Yeah, push it. Oh!
Falls out though.
I guess she's not getting the top.
Unfortunately, will not be over the top.
That's the
Lose a little bit frustrating this young athlete.
You need to control it.
But she has a minute. It's for sure enough time.
And she knows how to do. Take your rest. Brush everything and then get it.
And this time Matteo holds the zone. From here, there's 2 crimps to the top.
3. Let's see.
Matteo looking really promising here. And Matteo flies out, 20 seconds. I don't think it will be enough, but he was awarded a really nice round of applause.
20 seconds maybe enough for Lori.
Let's hope so. Let's see what she can do out of it.
She knows what to do.
And Lori falls down. Unfortunately, not enough, but she got awarded the zone. Same as Matteo. That is, little by little points will make a whole score, and the most that you get, the better. We're gonna have a look at the boulder number 2 now. Katharina and Clay will be starting at boulder number 2, and we will also have Julian Plieger for the men and Helene Viertbauer for the boulder number 1.
You see men's 2. Good fitness test. And you see little crimp, little finger pocket. If they get in 2 fingers, they're just gonna hold it.
Holding the zone on the first attempt, looking really promising here.
Come on.
From here is a hold to the top. And flies out.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the method.
It looked like a really, really good first attempt for the first minute. He has 3 minutes, it's plenty of time. But these young athletes, they don't have so much experience, so it's nice that they start in such a young age with gathering a little bit of experience.
Yeah, managing your power, it's the most important thing in competitions like this.
Especially after you have had such a hard round of semifinals or qualifiers. You really want to not give everything on one boulder and dose yourself for every single boulder. And to know when it's enough, it's sometimes a little bit hard, but here we see
hold.
Really good Clay.
Come on, go get it.
And it's the first stop of the evening. Clay Amlacher, Gabriel, looking really strong at boulder number 2. That was on the second go. He got the top awarded. And is for sure now leading the scoreboard.
Get another zone on the slab in the first girls boulder.
And there we go.
Katerina is struggling with the runner. Yeah, she needs to get way more speed into to put the center of gravity to the left of the holds. Push in.
The square is gathering slowly more people. More spectators who are walking by are joining us. Everybody needs to have 3G regulation, which is vaccination, COVID test actualized, or recover, prove that they have been recovered, and therefore they can come into this little stadium and have a look at what's going on.
In my opinion, it's a huge stadium. I mean, the whole city is able to watch you.
Technically, yes. I mean, until today, Graz has not seen so big days when it comes to the climbing, right?
Not even close. I mean, we had some huge events, R-Cups, Nationals at Blockhouse, but this is next
different
step,
caliber.
I hope.
And hopefully we're going to be able to see next year, but for this year, let's stay here.
Last seconds for
Helena.
Oh,
she will be awarded the zone, that's for sure.
Yes, she got the zone on her third try.
Still no tops on boulder number 1 for the women and for the men, and a top in boulder number 2 for the men.
Okay,
now
we got
Theo Gruber and Melanie
Gruber.
Treidler will be joining us.
Yeah, Mr. Gruber is from Kuchel. Also made quite a solid impression on the qualifications. Maybe we gonna see a top on men's 1.
Yes, the Salzburg man. Young man.
We got a close-up on the runner.
Hopefully we see a little bit more action on this boulder.
Get a lot of swing, and you need to trust your feet. You just have to commit and run over to the holes.
Yeah, and movements like this, you cannot just have little doubts. You have to go for it and see and learn from every single try that you have done previously.
Yeah, so actually it's the complete opposite of female 1, where you have to go extra slow, present it beautiful now. Lotte is going extra slow, very solid.
Looking promising here. He's a little bit taller, so maybe he doesn't need so much swing and so much speed.
Yeah, but men's 2, huh? Secured the zone.
And Theo was looking not too far away from these two 360 spheres. Matteo choosing to brush this little pocket. How many fingers do you manage to hit? Because the last athlete that we saw, Clay Gabriel, he was able to fit 3 fingers. I guess for you guys, you only fitted 1 or 2 maximum, right?
The pocket itself is a solid 2-finger pocket for a grown-up. Yeah. And also the crimp to the left, 2.5 fingers on it. But for the kids, I guess it's a chuck.
And there we see Theo making use of this
delivering
zone. Nobody wanted to go for this undercling on the right.
It's too high to the sedition. You should match it and then go for the undercling.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you go to the undercling before, your body is so low.
I guess even for a child, that is not a big hold when it comes in terms of size.
No, and it's quite a steep wall, so no presence out there.
There we see boulder number 2. Let's see if she can get a little bit more speed and just slips out. People cheering a lot, these young athletes in Maria Hilfe Square.
Especially colleagues. They've been in the qualification together some hours ago, and now they're cheering for each other.
Yes, it's a sport that is recently new to the world, so there's a lot of friendly competitivity. They're all friends, they all cheer, they all train together. Even if they're from different counties, they come and train together in the same gyms. I mean, it's very nice to see a friendly competition like this where the best one will be the one who wins, and still the people will be happy for their achievements.
Matteo's another good attempt on boulders too.
He went a little bit different than you guys planned, right? You planned to go to the pocket with the right and cross underneath with the left.
Exactly.
But he elongated with the right and then went with the left.
We tried both methods, just figured none of those is easier than the other. So kids can choose what they prefer, if they prefer the cross and get the zone with the right hand,
And not many tops on this final round. Let's hope there are more athletes topping. So far, one top from Gabriel Clay on boulder number 2. Already some zones have been synced, and we will also have a grasp of the third boulder with Gabriel Clay. And Katharina on boulder female number 3. Joining us on the stage will be Simon Peter and Lotta Merländer for boulder number 1.
Look at men's 2.
Looks like promising for a flash.
Yeah.
For the young athlete Julian Pliga.
Yeah, really strong, really
and
solid.
it's a flash. Looks really happy.
Celebrating like the big guys.
Proud performance from this young athlete from Carinthia. The county of Carinthia, known for the awesome places like Maltatal, famous for its boulders. Like the visualizer.
Another zone on women's 1. Yeah, looking good.
Looking really promising here.
High foothold. Yeah.
Lotta Merländer is looking really, really strong here. And slips out on the last second. Here we have a little bit of a grasp of this compression that you were talking about.
Exactly.
Gabriel Clay doesn't quite stick
You always fight
in
against
time
the
with this little crimp, but gives another attempt. Sometimes you think that these young athletes, they just
Yeah, we
have
see
some
maybe a
stamina.
top on men's 1. Just slips out of the undercling.
Yes, out of the corner of
Yeah,
our
good.
eyes, we were seeing the young athlete Simon Peter on boulder number 1, almost slipping, going for the last top hold. And the very young athlete Katharina on boulder number 3. Can you run us a little bit through this boulder? We didn't get a little bit of the talk in this observation.
Yeah, Serena has the. I mean, it's a solid climbing. You got this match, you got a cross. You have to swing your body below. And then I'm curious about the top, how they figure it out. It's actually possible to sit on the volume and press up into the top. We will see if they figure this out.
And here we go. Gabriel again on boulder number 3, going for the crimp. This time going.
Oh, we wanted
achieving
to
for the
skip it.
zone. When it comes to like a boulder like this, where do you decide to split? Where do you think you're going to get the most splits on scores? Who is going to make it to the higher or the bottom?
Yeah, for this course, I mean, the more low percentage a move is, the better it is for getting the splits. So on the slab we have seen the top, you just have to press up very carefully on the slopey footholds. So it's hard to secure the top, and if you get those low percentage moves, that's where you get the separation from the athletes. Who is staying focused till the end?
Let's see if the young athlete Lotta Merländer can do it this time. She needs to really create a position between her feet and the hands. Lotta
Get the whole
Merländer from
body up,
Germany.
get up, get up. Yes, yes.
And a
that's where
solid
you-
top for Lotta Merländer.
That was very well presented. So you see, you have to just trust your feet, press up till you have the solid and stable position in the undercling, in the stump press.
Very nice for these young athletes to have an international competition.
It was our first top on female 1, huh?
Yes, you are correct. This is the first top we have seen. We have seen already 2 athletes getting really close, but not being able to come and stabilize the top hold. And this was the first stop. And joining us further will be Lili Fischer and nonetheless by Raphael Hupman on boulder number 1 for the female and the men.
Yeah, Raphael coming all the way from Vorarlberg. Quite some trail distance.
And Lili Fischer from Hungary on boulder number 1, securing the zone. I believe this is her first attempt. And Thea on boulder number 3. Let's see, because the Hungarian athlete is looking really, really close. This looks really promising. Is it going to be a flash? And a flash for the Hungarian athlete.
Very nice.
Here doesn't quite hold attention. And we're seeing progression, the first boulder of the men.
When you know you're getting up the ranking,
And flies out. I guess it's really hard to stabilize this undercling on the right for the men. You have to get quite high with your position, otherwise
get your hips in and get them high.
you're getting
You need
stuck
to
out.
stay so close to the wall.
Und es braucht alle Athleten, 100 Meter, ganz wichtig für die Motivation. Sobald sie eine Wand sind, einmal Vollgas für alle.
We're seeing every time more and more people joining us. They're seeing what's going on. They're seeing these young athletes, the future of climbing, and they're joining us. There's cheering, and it's slowly creating a nicer ambience. We're getting more people cheering for these young athletes. Yes, really nice in times like these where it's been not so easy, and now the regulations are getting a little bit easy in Austria to have a publican to support all these young athletes in the middle of the city.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're gonna see us top now on men's too.
It's not over until it's over, but it's looking promising.
Ooh.
And unfortunately,
That's why I don't do betting.
the ambience is quite nice. Right now, we're having a little bit of a breeze, and the sun is just set down behind the buildings. So nice shade, nice atmosphere. Let's see if we can see a top from Matteo on boulder number 3. But he just fell down. And it seems like boulder number 2 is getting a little bit closer to this zone hold.
For the females?
Yes, Helena Fitfauer was getting a lot more meters running to the left and running to the last meter. He went with both hands. Do you think there is a holdable hold? Rafael giving a lot of tries to this first boulder. He really wants to get a top. He was getting quite close on one of his tries. And we still have not seen a top, but let's see what the best ones can do.
It was just a very nice attempt on females too.
20 seconds to go. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
see, now he proves it. He
Very
stops the
strong.
swing. Really good contact.
People are starting to get crazier.
Ali.
Flies out. And I don't think it's going to be enough. And
Yeah,
for
but
applause
proper-
from the
it was a
audience.
proper battle.
And we will be having the next athletes joining us into these finals for the U12. Joel Stach for the men and Lea Klewein from Graz. Home athlete here who trains in Blockhaus and Boulder Club.
Yeah, and also at the CRC, I guess, because
She's more known for her lead experience, right?
yeah, that changes.
She's really, really good when it comes to powerful things. I don't know how she's going to be doing on the slab, but her parents are climbers, her brother is a climber, the whole family is a climber. It's really, really nice to see them when we're on the crack
Good.
on the climbing walls.
Same here on men's too. Yes,
Looking really good. Are we going to see a top?
yes, men's too.
And that was a nice top from Simon Peter, who I believe just flushed boulder number 2.
I guess so, yeah.
Looking really happy as he walks
It
away.
was a strong try. He just skipped the left crimp, went
And
straight for the mono.
Lea looking pretty promising here. He's not the tallest athlete, but also not the shortest. She has
Yeah,
to
get
stay
up.
higher.
Come on. Yeah,
And it's
very nice. banana.
awarded. Perfect start of her
Hey.
final round.
Perfect study how to get the weight over the foothold. She did the banana with her hips. Just
Nice
putting
term. To the banana with the hips.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that.
There's no trademark on it.
And let's see what Lotta Meerländer can do out of boulder number 2 in the female. She looks like she wants to fly against the wall and was
Slow.
not very far away, the German athlete.
Yeah, we see first athletes on the number 4 of the boulders. Men's 4, now the slab.
Yes,
It's a very slow one. They have to work their way around this slopey black ball.
Gabriel will be awarded the zone for this. What is the idea behind this? Do you have to get around the corner and then just roll over this black
You
volume?
just have to go around this slopey ball, move below it, and then press yourself. You make a mantle over it to get to the next blue hold. And this position is nasty because this black volume
Wow.
is not good at all.
The Hungarian athlete
Yeah.
almost stuck the dynamic move. We have not seen a lot of this boulder yet, but she's getting closer and she still has a minute to go.
And this was really, really close.
And the Corinthian athlete on boulder number 1, he's on the really taller side of the way. So I think he probably doesn't even need to jump. Reaches out, gets the zone. He wants to go to the undercling first.
Oh, now the undercling. Come on. Oh.
And not quite created enough tension for the young athlete.
Ah, she stuck it.
And we start to see the first zone on boulder number 2 for the female.
Oh.
And falls out.
Just not, yeah. Ah, she has one more try in here.
Why not? There's plenty of time. And boulders like these, we see maybe like 30 tries in 4 minutes. No problem this time. Gets the crimp. She needs to jump to these 2 slopers and doesn't get enough height.
Ticking, clock was also ticking.
And we have the homie from Blockhaus, Fenja Chenner, the daughter of Stoffel Chenner, the main organizer for this.
Mastermind of Bloc Summer Graz. I have to say.
And also we have
Yes, it's fair to
Nikolaus
say that.
Oechner. She's not been climbing for as many years as all the other competitors. She just recently got into the team this year, but she's been making successful and notorious progress. And her family is a family of climbers, so I think she's going to be having quite a lot of progression in the coming years. Wait for this athlete. And we're starting to see a really good approach on boulder number 3. Are we going to see the first stop on boulder number 3?
Yeah, she now needs to sit in. Yes, she found to sit in. Yeah, easy.
And it's a top.
Very nice.
For Melanie Treitler, who just stopped boulder number 3. Hopefully we can see a replay out of that. And the first glance at boulder number 4, a second glance at boulder number 4 from Lori Stolz from Halburg.
Yes. Yeah, it's also a rather powerful boulder.
Yes, we have not been seeing a lot out of it. This was said by the Slovenian Anja, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah, maybe walk us a little bit through the boulder if you can.
From a technical point of view, it's quite straightforward. You make a big swing to the first big hold of the squadras, get the heel hook in, and then you can do 2 ways. You match with the heel hook, or you go dynamic with a shoulder press. And from there on, stretchy move into this pocket. You don't see when you see it later. And if you get the pocket, you get the top.
Here we see a little bit of the overview from the top, from the whole arena, the whole square. It's getting slowly more filled with people. And there's a little bit of a breeze going around, making it really nice. And we are going to see a first stop of boulder number 4.
He needs to match it. He got it.
And he got it.
Matteo, I guess.
Matteo looking really strong at boulder number 4. No gimme for this young man.
Not really able to hold it. Female 2, the runner. Last minute for this round.
Fenia looking pretty promising here. She needs to stand up. And doesn't quite make it. She still has 50 seconds. And the young athlete,
Female 2, we got it.
Thea Gruber, also having problems with the skin. It looked like he just looked at his pose. And so far we have the positions on the women are, on the men are Flash Matteo, followed by Hubman Rafael and Pete Simon in the first 3 positions. And for the women, Trilda Melanie, Lily Fischer and Lotta Mierländer. Let's see what Fenia can do out of these last seconds and also what Theo can do. My name is David Patterson and I'm here with nonetheless Bereita Lena. Hey. Yeah, Ben Hadi is one of the organizers and route setters of Boulder Club.
Yeah, route setting at Boulder Club. And when Stoffel came around in spring this year and said, hey, the city wants to make a huge event, we said, okay, we're going to go for it. Let's put the biggest wall we can find into the center of Graz. Blast of the last 2 weeks, and tomorrow we'll finish this up with a huge finals in the Masters.
Yes, yeah, I cannot wait. I mean, yesterday the whole ambience was amazing with the lights, with the people, with the climbers. It was pretty incredible. And it looks like today is going to be about the same, and tomorrow is going to be the final massive start with such an international competition of the big names.
Hey, females number 3, she needs to commit. Yeah.
Looking really strong here. The Hamburg athlete Lotta Mierländer. She has 3 minutes. There is no need to rush this.
Just needs to find the sit.
And we just got also joined by Katharina Atzenhofer and Jakob Butcher from Vorarlberg on the boulders number 1 for the women and for the male. And there we see this slow start that you had to move to the left.
She's one of the smaller athletes, but it's what is she? If you go for size for the athletes, it's important that you have some method to do it. She will do it for sure in a different way than the others.
And yeah.
Very well done. Very well done.
Good display of her usability of the whole body and body positioning.
She moved around the hold just below.
Looking really, really promising.
Nice. And we're gonna see a top on men's 1.
First top on men's 1 and also
on men's female 1, a flash from Katharina.
Now we can see a replay of Jakob Butcher, who got a first stop on boulder number 1 for the men.
Does she find the sit? Oh, not quite.
It's not reading quite it. And there is the boulder number 4 of the women. The athletes taking a little bit of a pause, choosing to brush the holds, taking a little bit of a rest, quite a mature attitude, and asking for some support of the public. And here we're going to see again the young Leah from Graz getting quite further, but not quite sticking the move.
Gabriel giving it all. Yeah.
Also Simon Peter from here from
and
Syria.
Got it. Another top on men's 3. Men's 2, sorry. Yeah, he doesn't want to let loose of the top hold now. Control it for 10 solid seconds. Maybe there's been a technical issue. We're gonna ask the judges.
And next rotation, Darian Duca will come, as well as Anna Edhard. And the boulder number 2 will be Fenia Cherna. She likes quite a lot of the dynamic moves, and she likes a lot of slabs also. So I think this is going to be the kind of boulder that would suit her quite well. And looking really, really close on her first try.
Yeah, we also had in the qualifications one of those runners. She needed 4 or 5 tries to figure it out, but in the end she got it.
Jakob looking pretty good on boulder number 1. And on boulder number 3, the young athlete Lily, who just fell down and was quite up on the boulder.
Solid try on men's one.
Do you think the athletes prefer to start with a soft slab, or more like giving hard moves on a very high overhang?
I guess powerful overhang boulder in the first section.
And that was the replay, boulder number 2. He looked like he didn't understand what just happened. The athlete from Carinthia. And here we have Fenia Chernan again on boulder number 2. Yes,
that's it.
There you are. She just fell out on the last second. It didn't get caught on camera, but she was looking really, really close. And on boulder number 3 on the men.
Yeah, you see how strenuous it is.
Looking really good, Rafael.
They have to fight their way up.
Still no top on boulder number 3 for the men. Looking like a savage boulder. We have seen almost a top on every single boulder, apart from boulder number 3 on the men, boulder number 2 on the women, and boulder number 4 on the women. And hopefully we're going to see more tops.
Maybe another top on boulder 1 from
Looks
the men.
really promising.
But this is not over. 1 minute 30 left for a good solid attempt.
Fanny taking a big breath. And we have a really good class now at boulder number 4 for the women. Melanie Treiter from Lower Austria, not quite sticking the zone hold. And on the men we have Matteo, followed by Julian, and followed by Rafael on the first scores, with 1 top and 3 zones. And in the women we have Lily Fischer, followed by Lotte Reitner and Melanie Klevein. All of them with 1 top and 3 zones, apart from Melanie with 2 zones. Not so many tops we're seeing on this round, but I mean, we're not over, so there's a lot still to see. Are you quite happy with how it's going, or are you expecting more tops, Bernhard?
Still now quite happy, because with the lot of good attempts, the kids are getting very close. And if they're getting close, someone will come along and get the top also. Like
yes.
for the females 1, we had 2 close, 2 tops.
And
now we're getting another one on
crazy
female
with
1.
Lily on boulder number 3. She just managed to get to the upper part of the wall. She needs to see it on that hold and doesn't quite stick it. Not gonna be enough.
Anna Gerhard just flashed female 1. She's also one of the top competitors from the qualification.
Exactly. And the last athletes, Anja Meyer and Julian Leitner, coming out.
Joining the pack.
Actually, for the men, that looks like Darian Luca.
Yeah, Darian is at boulder number 1. I guess he sticks the zone at the first try. And also Anja on female number 3.
Lea Klevein from Graz looking really strong on this boulder. Hopefully she reads it properly. She's a little bit smaller,
Yes.
but no problem with
Press
the
up.
power. She needs to sit in that hold.
Come.
Doesn't
Yeah, she's not
seem to be
sure.
understanding what's going on.
Oh, she's
That's
not
not the
sure.
hold she wants to go to.
Nah,
It's not the
it's
top hold. And takes a little bit of a read. But in the meantime, Anja Mehr from Graz.
Men's one. Yeah, solid second try.
Very
That's
nice.
what we expected from the second, from the qualifications.
Darren Duca
Duca.
looking really, really strong in boulder number
Yeah.
one. That would probably leave in a really high position. The field
Putting
has
on the
been
pressure for Julian.
led by Nicolas with 2 tops. And in the women's, Melanie Tretter with 1 top and 3 zones on 10 attempts. And here we see again Lea going for a top. She still has the half of the time remaining, enough time for this young athlete, a very powerful athlete. And hopefully we're going to see a top of Anja Mehr.
Für die Stimmung sorgt nicht nur die Blocklektüre, sondern die DJs von der Steinblock Crew. Ein Riesenapplaus hier nicht nur für
The athletes choosing to brush a little bit of the holds.
jemand fängt aber einen Riesenapplaus für die DJs.
And here we see a little bit of a
Men's
better
four.
angle on the buns four. Yeah, exactly. You have
And you
to
see how slow this slab is.
fall down a little bit. It's
Yeah.
kind of like an awkward movement when it comes to climbing. You
More
wanna
like
go up.
walking, not actually falling, it's just walking because you have to control this move down so much.
Simon Peter from Upper Austria. Looking really, really
Just
good
able
here.
to reach this.
Tries to do what is known
strong,
as RSL
strong, strong.
and gets the foot on top. And the idea of this is just to stand up on this volume, right?
Yeah, it's quite similar to female one. You need to stand up, go into this side crimp and push up into the thumb
And
press.
it's a top from the athlete.
Very well
from
done.
Simon Peter. Simon Peter looking really strong.
Yeah, this pushes him in first place.
With
Got
2
two
tops
tops.
and 3 zones on 4 attempts. Last 16 seconds for Lea Klevein. She really
Mental
would
up
do well
and
with the top,
go for the hold.
and unfortunately falls down.
Good try, good try.
And last but not least, one of the favorites, the homie, Julian Leitner.
Yeah, and we got the winner from the qualifications, also Maya Anja.
Nicht nur im Ratiger Vollzeit, auch ein sehr starker Festkletterer.
And Fenia on boulder number 3. She's also one of the taller athletes, so maybe she can
Yeah.
benefit out of this.
Quite big for her size, which makes especially this crossovers a little easier. Got the reach.
No problem. And unfortunately, doesn't quite stabilize.
But it's still overhanging. You still have to keep your body in. Need to take care of your
Julian
position.
looking really strong, secures the zone on the first attempt.
Yeah, that's his moves up there.
Has to get quite high up.
Yeah, just goes for it.
This is going to be a flash.
Easy.
What a powerful start for this young man who's looking into a perfect run of the finals. Looks a
Gives
big smile.
Yeah, smile for the audience.
Young athlete with plenty of experience when it comes to the outdoor fields also. He already did several 8As, and watch for this young athlete who's 10 years
Nice
old.
stuck on the zone for females too.
Yes, the athlete
Erhard Anna.
Anna Edhard.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's the highest we have seen out of this boulder.
Yeah, it was a second trial. I guess second or third.
And another top for Jakob Butcher
Men's too.
from
I
Vorarlberg.
wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it's one which suits, which has
The more powerful athletes, maybe?
no, but the moves themselves are not that low percentage. So if you control it, you can do it.
Looking pretty strong here, the athlete from Corinthia, but not quite reading it as you would
It's
expect.
possible. It's possible to go with the heel hook, especially for his size. This is one of the taller ones.
And Fenia taking another go. She needs to stay quite low.
Yeah, she did better, but
A comparison when it comes between Leah and herself, Leah being more shorter athlete with a bit more experience in holding small holds, who could not have so much problem getting to the upper part of the wall. Hopefully we're going to see better results out of Fenia and the athletes.
local crowd cheering for Fenia.
Also on boulder number 4, Lily Fischer.
Oh, good attempt.
And last minute of this rotation. So far, all the athletes have tried at least one boulder. And it's been followed by
Female too, maybe we got another attempt on the top.
4.
Needs to get really high up.
Lily will be awarded the zone.
close.
She's looking really strong.
One more, come on.
Unfortunate. And Anna Edhard not quite sticking.
Yeah, take a deep breath. It's a fast boulder, enough time.
Lily taking another go.
Yeah, I
Just
got the
needed
first
a-
move dialed. Come on.
It's not reaching enough, Lily.
Really need to jump from those.
And here we see a little bit of a glance of these young athletes jumping and running around the mats, looking for the boulders.
Yeah,
They're-
wall looks even bigger if, with these young athletes.
And Darian Duca on second boulder, men's number 2.
Yeah,
He
what do you
managed-
think?
He managed
Like-
to top the first boulder, so he's probably one of the strongest competitors.
You think he's going for a flash?
I think he should be going for a flush.
Yeah, but does he make it? Oh, you see how strong. Just
A Croatian athlete, very strong, looking very, very good.
solid. Yeah.
No problem.
Way too comfortable.
Looking like a walk on the park and goes for a flush. And I believe this is going to put him on really high position. Not on top of the field because he didn't finish 3 boulders and the best one had 2.
New high punt on men's 3. Come on. Come on. Go into the crimp. Yeah.
And there's no
There we
problem
go.
for Nicolas. Strong performance. That's the first top we have seen on boulder number
Which
3 and
puts-
the highest we have seen it.
Yeah, which puts him in front, I guess. We got 3 tops now.
I believe so. Let's have a look. Nicolas with the only athlete to complete 3 tops and 3
tops and
boulders.
3 boulders.
So hopefully it will not go to the number of attempts. And here we see Leah taking a little bit of a glance at boulder number 4. We have not seen a lot of this boulder. Hopefully we're going to be able to see some tops. The best athlete got to the zone and tried to reach the next hold. And 2 athletes from Styria on the screen. Anja on boulder number 2 and Leah on boulder number 4. Yes, looking
Oh,
really,
very
really
nice.
good. Looking really strong.
Getting the feet
Anja
high up. And you need to commit for
looks
the
like a
jump.
pretty poor foothold.
Yeah, left crimp is not so good.
She still has 1 minute 30, plenty of time. And here we have on boulder number 3, the young athlete. Making quite a lot of progress. Doesn't quite stick it. And Lea going for another try on boulder number 4. She being on the shorter side is not going to have it so easily to be so span out. And Anya looking again quite high up. Maybe she will read it properly. She has to get with both hands. She's trying to stop with the right hand on this big volume, but she needs to create opposition between both holds with both hands.
Wants to go somehow a little bit static, but actually she would need to push way more up.
I believe it's not going to be enough time. I think she had enough out of this boulder and she walks away. A little bit of frustration out of this young athlete. And as you can see, the church behind on Maria Hilfer Square.
Yeah, really nice venue.
And let's see what Julian can make out of boulder number 2. Took Darian on 3rd position with 2 boulders in 3 tries. He didn't flash the first boulder, didn't second go, flash the second boulder. Julian can get on top of the scoreboard if he flashes it. Julian being also quite strong of the competitors, I think this would suit him quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
Julian looking really strong here.
Yeah.
And a flash for Julian Leitner.
As easy as Darian. Yeah, those 2 boys are way ahead of the pack.
Hero. He gets another 3 minutes out of rest.
Ooh, girls 3.
And it's looking
Team
pretty
of
promising
3.
here. Anna Edhard from Inst, from Tyrol. She needs to sit. Will she sit?
Now she does, now she does.
No, that's not the top.
I mean, she's allowed to use the hold, but she needs to put on the red one.
She wants to stand up.
Oh.
She wasn't top. She still has 230. She has enough time to top it. And now we're going to see a top on boulder number 4 for the men. Yes. I think he will be awarded. That was pretty short, but I think he will be awarded. And Anna Edhard taking another go on boulder number 3. Already the half of the time remaining. Looking really, really good.
Yes, well done.
Already in the national team in Tyrol.
Now how she's going to do the top?
She was already there. She just had to
Now she's sitting
on it and get comfortable. But I don't think she's really fancying the... And falls out again. It's such a heartbreak thing when you see like an athlete of her caliber being at the top and not being able to read it properly and therefore falling down.
Yeah, that's part of the game. It's what makes boulder competitions quite fun. I mean, we saw one perfect top on this boulder. If you go for it, you sit into this big hold.
Not a lot of the tops on the female side. The best was Lily with 1 top and 4 zones. And on the men, we have seen the best score with Nikolaus with 3 tops. And here she goes again, Anna Edhard. It's looking really good on the men's side for boulder number 3. He will be awarded the zone, but falls down. And
Anna got one more try on female 3.
very last try for Anna Edhard.
Oh, now she sits on her hand.
It's so agonizing to see her so close and not really understanding the whole procedure of this movement. Because if you put your
kind of brutal, you
your
have the
hip-
top hold by literally in front of your nose, but you just can't match it.
Yes, very frustrating, but it's part of the game. Everybody has
Part
the
of the
same
game, and
conditions, the same rules for everybody applies.
route setters have to be, you have to put up the challenges for the athletes.
And Daria and Duka choosing to brush every single hold. You want to assure maximum friction. Those holds get choppy and then they get quite slippery, and you have to compensate a lot with your power. So you want to assure that every single hole has the maximum friction. And let's see what this young Croatian athlete has to do. Looking already so comfortable. He will be awarded a zone hold. And Anja Mer making progress on boulder number 3.
He goes for it.
Darian looking so comfortable.
Very comfortable.
And I believe that was a flash. Unstoppable.
The weight develops. It seems to we have to be a little bit scared about the number 1 position for the man, huh?
Well, so far it looks like a lot of tops, to be honest. And now we have Ochne Nicolas on his last boulder. If he tops that, it will come down for sure to the number of attempts if the next 2 competitors get also a top on the next boulders. He's also on the shorter side, so this is going to be quite a far reach.
Jump if he wants to. Yes.
Looking really strong here, Nicolas Ochne.
Yeah. Up to the blocked crimp. Squeezing the hold. Yeah, no problem for him.
Looking really, really, really good. And perfect score
Perfect.
with 4 tops for this young athlete from Austria. He just completed his 4 boulders and I believe 4 tries.
I guess 5. He needed 2 attempts on the first.
We're going to be surely actualized. So 4 tops in 6 tries.
Oh, that's going to be
It's going to come down
tight.
to the number of attempts. Quite a tight competition. We normally like it. Do you like it more when there is like the first competitor who won with 4 tops, then 3 and 2, or do you like it also when there's a lot of tops?
Hard to say. I mean, what I like, what a good competition makes is if you see the athletes struggle and fight. If you have time to get into the zone with them. And I mean, for now as a route setter, I'm a little bit scared now.
You should be a little bit nervous. And here we see a glance at boulder number 4. And Katerina not quite sticking the first.
But it's the same for the young athletes. I also prefer that we see rather more tops.
As an spectator, I guess it's better to see more tops.
Compared to the adults.
Yesterday we were getting a little bit of an insight that as a climber you want hard boulders, you want
exactly.
be
You
able
want
to
to
fight.
struggle.
And Anja looking really strong here on this 3rd boulder. She has 5 seconds.
Come on, go fast. Oh,
It's
time
not
off.
going to be enough. It's going to be timed out. Unlucky.
So, but pressure's on for Julian. He needs to flash it to stay in the race.
Julian has got already 2 tops and 2 flashes. He did every single boulder on the first go. And he really needs to top it on the first go if he wants to go for a gold medal. People cheering a lot this young athlete, local hero. No problem on this first part. gets the zone. He will be awarded the zone. Julian Leitner has to still compose. And a flash for Julian Leitner, who has no troubles on his boulder. He's having a pretty good season this year. He already made some podiums into bouldering. And is looking stronger than ever today here in Graz in front of his home crowd. But let's see what Anna Edhard has to do on boulder number 4.
Yeah, I hope we finally see something. Yes.
Was this planned as the hardest boulder?
For the females, at least the most powerful, yeah. I mean, female too, also tough for the girls.
Yes. This is where the best competitor got to, and we have not seen the next hold being reached yet. And that was a top from the young athlete Jakob Butcher from Vorarlberg. Jakob Butcher will be awarded top, but will not make it to the podium. He's already sitting currently in 4th position with 2 tops and 4 zones. And here is again Anna Edhard on her last board of her rotation on this finals U12.
Yes, she can do it. Come on, commit.
So far we have Lili followed by Anna Edhard and Melanie Treidler. So a top for Anna would put him onto 1st position without a doubt. And on the men we have Nicolas followed by Julian Leitner and Duke Darien. It falls into the number of attempts they took to get a top. Julian being the one with 3 tops and least amount of tries, gets in 2nd position, but he has not finished his rotation. So he still can get onto the lead. Going for the blocking approach, trying to block with the left.
One more try in it. At least one more.
She's on the steeper part of the wall. This is a 30-degree overhanging wall. Starts with a really nice slab on the very far right, moving to the left. We get more of a hanging view of the whole panels. And this is Anna going for another quick burn. And I think she has time for the last burn.
A rest would be better here.
And she gives everything. Public are cheering hard for this Tyrolean athlete. Looking very strong.
Yeah, lower part she got dialed. Come on it.
And I think she's getting really tired.
Powered
it's going to be pretty much everything for her. Sitting 2nd position currently.
Good round of applause for her.
And she gets rewarded with a big round of applause. And she managed to complete 1 top and 4 zones in 5 attempts.
Can Darian keep on the pressure?
Last boulder for
To
Darian.
have a chance for winning, he needs to do it, and he actually needs to flash it, huh?
He
If he
has
flashes
2
it,
tries and he can be on 1st position. This
with the flash.
only is a provisional position, because if Julian flashes it, then the best he can do is be 2nd, and the worst he can do is his 3rd position. So
He
one
just
burn.
missed his first.
If he does it again, he would be able to get into 1st position. If he does it in 2, then he's going to be 2nd at least. If he does it now, he would have the same amount of tries as Nicolas, but because of countback, he would be sitting on a higher rank. But he needs to do it on this try.
No.
And doesn't quite stick it. So the best he can do now is 2nd.
As a route setter, I'm kind of glad. I must be that honest.
Yes, I guess it's a tough job, exactly, for such small athletes and young athletes, where the levels are so different. Also, they don't have as many competitions as the older ones, or they have not had so many competitions, so that you can more or less guess where the levels are going to be. And yeah, pretty good job still for all
Now
you
he
guys.
found out how he needs to move on this first part of the slab. Secures the zone.
And Anja Meyer on her last boulder. We're almost finished with this competition. And it's getting kind of tight to the number of tries into the men. And quite tight for the female.
And Darian gets the top on his third try.
This puts him into second position, I believe. Let's see the actualized scores. Anja has got 1 top and 3 zones. And Darian, having had 1 try more than Nikolaus, gets into second position. So it's all about Julian. All these 3 young athletes will be on the top, but the scores will be dictated by what Julian does. If Julian flashes it, then he will be on the lead, I believe. If he doesn't do it in 3 tries, he will be second, and if he does it in 4 tries, he will be third. And Anja having a last go. She gets the zone, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
But she has had
Not
more
enough
tries
power
than all the other athletes, so she's sitting currently on 5th position. She really needs to top it if she wants to see a podium. And Anja walks
she calls
away.
it a day. Solid
A little bit
performance.
frustrated,
Huge round of applause for her.
but she gets rewarded with a grand applause from her chrome crown. And let's see what Julian can do out of this last boulder.
My
Making
fingers are sweaty.
Making it intriguing to the last moment. My name is David Paulsen and I'm joined by Berhard Leiter. Right, Elena? Tricky surname, but there you can see it. Thanks a lot that you're helping me. And here we have Julian. The tension is big.
It's all in his hands.
And the position of the women are already set. Lili Fischer followed by Anja Meyer and Anja Ethard are the first 3 positions. And let's see what Julian can do. Secures a proper start. Remember that you have to control
He
the start
definitely has the skills to flash it.
if he wants to be able to move further. He's also not one of the tallest athletes, so walking down will be a little bit more risky, but displays a lot of flexibility and mobility. Not a problem for this young athlete from Blockhouse.
Very nice zone on the first try.
Julian Leitner looking very strong today. He's looking on his own
Very
league.
focused.
It's a little bit of a movement around this 360 move, massive sphere. He really needs a top if he wants to be on the podium,
Let's see.
on the gold podium.
Very nice.
And
Presses
it looks
the
really good,
and I
looking really good
can go
here.
up to the top. Take your
And
time.
it's the last step. And it's a flash. Is it gonna be a flash? It is a flash.
Yeah.
The people, the whole town goes crazy.
Congratulations, Julian.
And Julian says hello to her home crowd. There's the replay and his big smile. And what an awesome performance from Julian Leitner, who was in his own little space, his own league today here in front of his hometown in Graz. Proud effort.
Showed no nerves at all. Just
Only athlete with
just
4 flashes.
put down one boulder after the other. I mean, Julian gets trained by Patrick Sommer, sitting with us
Yes.
for this round.
We're going to have a little bit of a break and we're going to be coming very shortly in a quarter of an hour.
Was a pleasure to comment with you.
Yes, and there we see this, the scores. The best athlete was Lili Fischer with 1 top and 4 tries and 4 zones, followed by Anja Meyer with 1 top and 3 tries, and Anna Ethard with 1 top and 4 zones. So Hungarian, Austrian for the women, Followed down with Melanie Treadler, Lea Klevein, and Lotta Meerländer. Thanks a lot, Bernhard. It's been a pleasure having you and giving you your insight as the route setter and
First time
one of the
commenting
organizers.
was also very fun. Maybe we do it again.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. I'm gonna see what was up next for us.
Okay.
U14 finals, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, well.
We will be joined by.
Goodbye.
Bye. We will be joined surely by Schule, more known as Georg Palmer, the local hero also, who's competing at the Bloc Summers, who couldn't make it to the finals yesterday. And that was Bernhard Breitler, one of the head resetters in Boulder Club, who was also setting here for the youth team, and who was giving a lot of help into organizing all these events. Thanks to all our sponsors, the main one being Berkus here in Graz. This is a public competition, and without some of these sponsors, it would be impossible to do such a competition like that. And we will be surely at 18:30 with the finals of U14. They will have a previous observation, and then they will start. Same format, similar boulders, without these modifications. As you can see, some of these route setters are taken out of some of these holds, which were modified for the young athletes. And as we were saying, thanks to the main sponsors, Berkus, Stadt Graz, Graz Tourismus, Let's Go, Austria Climbing, Alpenverein, and Land Steiermark. Thanks a lot. Without you, would not be possible. Some smaller sponsors, but who also helped us a lot, were Dobrong, TU Graz, Schriftenbinder, Scarpa, Grieser Klade, Kleine Zeitung, Soundportal, Wiener Städtische, Raiffeisen, Frischluft, Rock City, NTS, and Illusion Holds. Thanks everybody here. Without you, there would not be any possible to do such a big event like that. It's been a long 3 months of preparations. The main organizer has been, as we were said before, Stefan Scherner, more known as Stoffel. And we will lead you with some images of the route setters of the adaptations, and we will be back in 15 minutes. Don't go, take a little break, go to the toilet, fill your drinks, and we will be back in 15 minutes.
es wissen, das Finale U12, weiblich und U12 männlich, des Bloc Summer Youngsters hängt schon am Fischsport, sind schon online. Wird schon nachschauen, wer gewonnen hat. Bei der Siegerehrung nach dem nächsten Finale sehen wir dann die 3 Top-Platzierten. die kleine Zeitung, Reiterverband, Graz. Ohne euch wäre das alles nicht möglich. Ein riesengroßes Dankeschön auch an die Volunteers und alle freiwilligen Helfer, die in dieser Zone bewachen, jeden Stuhl aufgebaut haben, jede Matte herumgetragen. Viele nicht anwesend, viele Hände.
Hello back again, and this time I'm joined here by Georg Palmer, a professional athlete for the Austrian team, who is an all-rounder. He considers himself more of a lead climber, but yeah, having flashed 8B boulder, I think we can say that you are an all-rounder. Already you climbed this year your first 9A, right, Georg?
Yes, I did. Last year, I think.
Last year?
I think last year, yeah.
Okay. Are you setting some marks for this year?
Sorry, coming.
Are you setting some marks for this year? Are
marks? On rock, you mean, or in general? Yeah.
Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about it before we start with the competition. We still have a little bit of previous adjustments, so we can just introduce the people who you are.
So the plan is that the only World Cup I will do will be in Leeds in Graz on the 3rd and 4th of September. So that will be the biggest comp for me this year, and then I will have the national championships in Leeds in the end of September, and then it's back on rock for me.
Nice. And you are also going to be seen tomorrow, right? You qualified for the semi-finals this morning. Pretty solid, actually, quite ahead of your scoreboard. So yes, we're going to see you tomorrow morning, I guess.
Yeah, let's hope so.
How was for you? It was pretty hot every day, but today in general it was a lot hotter than the previous days. How have you been dealing with skin and conditions?
Sorry, Dave. Yeah, it was quite hot today, and skin was of course an issue. But yeah, I tried to make use of the strength I had, the power I had left, and make use of every try, and it worked out quite well.
Cool. Let's focus a little bit on the competition because it's just about to start and the athletes are being presented. We have on the men the first Tobias Mader from Carinthia, followed by Maximilian Wagner from Lower Austria, followed by Peter Teufel from Lower Austria also, just coming onto the mats. This is going to be followed by Jonas Wimmer, a local hero from Syria, the younger brother of Anja Wimmer. They are both training a lot in Blockhouse and in CRC. Then we have Felix Schnuck from Salzburg. The next person coming, it's Moritz Janka from Lower Austria. Now we have Simon Tauber from Lower Austria too. A lot of qualified athletes from Lower Austria. Luca Nündel, just jumping onto the mats. And now the ones who place us first, second and third. Third, Jonas Beder from Tyrol, qualified this morning. Followed by Christian Leiner, the older brother of the previous winner that we saw in the U12. Also very strong in the rock field. He did an 8B plus in his local crowd in Weißerwand, called Toten Nohand. And in first place, Alexander Nahr from Tyrol. And those are the 11 qualified athletes for this final of the Youth 14. And now we will jump into the women qualifiers. Livia Scarlett from Upper Austria. It's just coming to the mats right now. Followed by Flora Geiswinkler from Tyrol. We're going to be followed by Mara Matutinovic, coming now to the mats. Following along, Elise Winkler from Vorarlberg. Sophie Kreuzberger from the county of Carinthia will be coming. There we are. Anja Wimmer, the sister of Jonas Wimmer, local hero here from Graz.
Two siblings in finals.
Two siblings in finals. That says something about Blockhouse.
Yes, it does.
We're followed now by Podovic Marusa. Double Annika from Upper Austria is coming also into the mats. Masia Martin Geiler. Jakoba Raute von Tirol, it's joining us. And the one who qualified as first into the qualifiers, Nina Henschel. And those are our 11 male and female finalists in today's U14. They're going to have 2 previous minute observation for every boulder, and then they will go into isolation, and we will have 1 man and 1 woman consequently coming out every 4 minutes. They will have a 4-minute time for climbing each boulder, a total of 4 boulders, and between each boulder they will have a 4-minute rest where they can recover themselves, think about what's coming next. But previously, a little bit of a discussion. Georg, you've been a professional athlete and having a lot of experience. You won a lot of competitions into your youth. How do you think what is the big difference for you jumping to the big World Cups?
Yeah, for me it was quite hard to make the step up. Let's say the first few years I wanted to have like really good rankings in the World Cups, and I was, let's say, a little bit used to always being in finals, always trying for the podium, which is also part of like a really important part of the process, to fight for a win or a podium. But of course, yeah, in the World Cup it's quite different, and it's really hard to establish, especially in bouldering these days. I would say the field is stacked with a lot of really strong athletes. So yeah, it's definitely a struggle, and you shouldn't give up too quickly.
True. Yeah, we are seeing the most of the best athletes, like you said. They have been winning a lot of youth competitions. Maybe you can run us through the first boulder on the men's one. Looks like a really flashy boulder without the adaptations that we had in youth 12.
So yeah, it's kind of a new school dynamic boulder, I would say, with these big white lenses. Quite a... Do you say an eye catcher? I'm not sure. Is this that in German?
Yes,
yeah.
It's quite an eye catcher. It's quite an eye catcher
yeah,
boulder. That's true.
So before we saw the top to the right, now we're seeing it more to the left. And yeah, I guess the physical, the beginning is the same. Is it exactly the same?
It's a little bit different thing. They had a black added hold, and now it's probably going to be a little bit more like a lambada movement where you have to swing to the left.
Yeah, you might be right. And then maybe a physical top out, which is going to be hard. Let's hope.
Are you fan of like dynamic movements? I mean, you're quite renowned for being quite good into coordination movements. Have you been born with it also yourself?
I would say I'm a fan in that sense that I like doing them. It's always fun when you stick a move like that, or when you adapt fast in a competition and you learn fast. But of course, as I'm climbing on rock a lot as well, I'm also a fan of just pulling really hard. So yeah, I guess the right amount of every style makes it for me in a competition.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. We didn't get a replay of the qualifiers today, but there was a third boulder where you just completely crushed the sequence. There was meant to be a 1, 2, 3, and you just managed to do something that the route setters just had no idea, and they had not planned at all.
Really?
No. And yeah, pretty impressive to see from an athlete like you. And yeah, talk us about it. Boulder number 2. This is a little bit of a run, so you're quite familiar with it?
You mean the female?
Yes, the female too.
Yeah, so you have to gain a lot of momentum, in my opinion, and get your center of gravity like all the way to the left in order to be able to hold that side pull, and maybe even a toe catch. What do you think on the lower volume? It would make sense to me.
It would make sense.
And then yeah, you have the zone hold.
We just saw one of the athletes like doing the toe catch that you were talking.
Yeah. Yeah, they got it faster than me.
Yeah, we didn't see any top on the U12. Hopefully, we're gonna see a little bit more out of the boulder on U14. Also, it was a little bit of a reachy move with very poor foothold at the bottom. These athletes being a little bit taller, maybe they're able to get a bit more of it. How important do you think is a little bit of an observation and a little bit of a talk between the athletes when it comes to severe hard boulders like that?
I personally like observation a lot better than just being by yourself on the mats, because it's just more social, I would say, and it's just a lot more fun to be able to discuss the boulders afterwards.
That's true.
In ISO. So, and let's say for some athletes, observation is also kind of an advantage, because some athletes are just a little bit smarter or faster in getting the beta right.
Yes.
So I would say in observation, you can be saved, let's say, from athletes that just get it more quickly. Of course, on the mats, it's always a different. It's a different game, and you still have to execute, and you still have to make the right decisions or adapt quickly if the beta doesn't work out. But yeah, I definitely enjoy observation.
You've been also a route setter in Blockhouse. Do you think it has helped you a lot to understand movement?
I would say yes. I think setting yourself gives you a different idea about bouldering, about what the boulder is about, and what you want to kind of force in a movement. So yeah, it definitely helped me.
The female 3 looks really interesting. It looks like a little bit of a first fit, where you have to dab this little crimp underneath the big jerk. And yeah, I think we just saw this woman, little girl. Yeah, it looks like in the youth 12 they try to make the top, just to be able to control the top, that you would clamp your hip against the big hold into the volume, the upper volume, covering the Walltopia logo. But not many athletes manage to understand the problem. Do you think we're going to see the same, or is it going to be more like standing and pressing against?
To be honest, this boulder looks brutal, in my opinion. Really powerful, and it's going to require a lot of body tension to do a feet first move, like you said. And then the crimps look really bad. And also the top press. I'm excited to see what they're going to show us on the mats.
Yeah, well, Benha was saying they're young athletes, so they have smaller hands. Smaller fingers, so hopefully they're not so small for them and they can hold them.
Yeah.
And now jumping on to boulder number 4 for the men. This is a little bit of a walker to the left, but they took some of the holes at the lower part, so it doesn't look like you have to walk downwards. Also, they removed the crimp, so now you have to kind of do a run and jump to the first volume and just hold the position, because I think the upper crimp, it's not holdable, it's just for touching.
Yeah. Definitely just for the thumbs.
And I believe, as I was saying before with Bernhard, that you have to roll over to this black lens at the bottom. Maybe we can get a little bit of a lower angle on the camera. And you have to stop with the right hand on this little crimp. There you are, we can see with the zone hold marked on pink. You want to roll over with the left palm and hold the right. And probably your body's going to swing to the left, and then is another dynamic move to a press of both spheres at the top. Looks pretty cool boulder. Are you fan of steeper or more slabby?
First of all, I'm quite impressed on how you analyze this boulder. You had a lot to say about it. I can't really decide. But I would say, usually in a competition, I do the less steeper ones more quickly. But yeah, it's kind of a running joke actually that I don't have biceps, I just can do slabs. But I hope it's not true, not entirely true.
Well, you look pretty strong on the overhanging part today, so. And for climbing 9A, I guess you have to also be strong to be on the biceps.
On crimps more than on slopers. But
Yeah, 7 seconds to go for the last rotation for the observation, and these athletes will now go into isolation, and we will be having the first two athletes, Tobias Mader from Carinthia and Livia Scalis from Upper Austria. Where is your money on, Georg? We have seen many people betting. I want your bet. Where is your money?
I have actually no idea. I mean, the Julian was really confident and looked really strong. Like, actually, it looked like his level was slightly above the difficulty of the routes.
Totally agree.
So yeah, I'm excited to see his brother. He's definitely. I mean, I don't know every detail about the other athletes, but I would say on rock he might be the strongest. Or I'm pretty sure he's the strongest.
We don't know many athletes, even in the world of his age, being able to climb such a higher level of performance like AB plus on the rock, and yeah, I hope to see a lot out of these young athletes, especially himself being quite ahead. You know, he's been on the top of the field for the last year or two, making increasive progression into the grades. I guess we're gonna see a lot out of this athlete.
Yeah, I can expect a lot, I would say.
Let's see what you can say. Hello to the camera. We got a camera today. We didn't get one yesterday, and you can see Georg Palmer here sitting to my side. Thanks a lot for joining me. And that's the score and the people who are going to come out. We have several Austrian and Slovenian, Croatian and Spanish into this international competition. Livia Scalet, followed by Flora Ganswinkler, Mara Matutinovic, excuse my French, Elise Winkler, Sophie Kreuzberger, Anja Wimmer, Podovachnik, Marusa, Annika Deubler, Gaile Macia Martin, and Jakoba Rauter. And Nina Henschel. Those are the 11 athletes on the female side that qualified for today. On the men's side, we had Mare Tobias, Maximilian Wagner, Peter Teufel, Jonas Wimmer, Felix Schnuck, Moritz Janka, Simon Tauber, Luca Nindel, Jonas Bader, Christian Leitner, and Alexander Nahr.
We haven't placed our bets on the girls. What do you think?
Well, there's a Spanish girl, so I'm going to go for the Spanish girl.
Easy choice for you.
What about you?
I mean, I have to go for the local hero, I would say.
So you're going to go for Anja Wimmer?
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to go for Chris Leitner and yeah, Matia Martin. Let's see what they can do. The temperatures are cooling down. We're getting a little bit more of a breeze. The sun is not flashing at all. And from here we can see a very beautiful view of the Schlossberg Tower, an iconic place in Graz. If anybody's in Graz, I recommend them to get to the top. You see the River Mur, you see the whole city. We're in the eastern side of Austria, in the city of Graz, because Graz is being nominated as the 2021 City of Sports. And very shortly, we will start with the competition. Georg, how have you seen the Olympics? I have to raise the topic, and that's the Schlossberg for everybody.
I actually really enjoyed watching the Olympics, especially because there was Jesse and Jakob in finals, which was thrilling, to say the least. I was watching it with Santiago, a guy we work with, and he was also really, really excited. And I made a short video clip of us just freaking out when Jesse climbed the lead route. So yeah, and of course, the format is something that a lot of athletes and can be criticized, but in general, I would say it was a big chance for climbing, and we made use of it. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it keeps on the similar friendly competition that we're having, to be honest. Climbing not being such a big sport as, for example, football. And yeah, I hope that it keeps really well. For a good side, we see a better progression in this sport.
Yeah, I hope so.
And here we come with the first athletes. If somebody is wondering who Santiago is, he's the host for the public and cheering the athletes. Maybe we can get a shot out of him. And here we have both boulders. Pretty tricky start for the women.
What a cool split screen.
Yes. David Schickenbruer from Frischluft was saying that we would have this so that we'd be able to give a little bit of a better view of all the athletes, and that was a pretty perfect 1-2-3 coordination move.
Beautifully executed.
Such a slow time, right? It was a really slow-mo.
He slowed down so much.
Hard cream into a bad sloper and flies out. But that was a pretty good start. He got awarded the zone on the first try. And Livia Scarlett, I think she's also going to be awarded the zone, yes, this time for sure. She has to utilize it, she cannot touch it. If somebody's wondering what all those tapes are and is just coming new into bouldering, we have 4 tapes in green at the beginning. They represent the 4 limbs that we have, 2 legs and 2 arms. And you can choose how you start, but you have to be able to control all those 4 pieces of tape at the beginning. Then higher up we get pink tape. This is a hold awarded with the zone. You get points for that. And higher up the last hold is the top, which has got a green marker. You have to hold both hands and control it until the referee gives you the green light that you have topped it. The rules are simple. The more tops, the better you're going to be on the score. And if we have to split the climbers, it goes down to the number of zones that you got them. If we still have to split the climbers, it will be to the number of attempts they got into the top. And if this is not the case that there is a clear winner, it would have to come to the number of attempts they took to get the zone. And if this is still not a clear result, then we would have to go back to countdown to the previous round. But we always like when the first climber gets the more tops and consequently goes down to less tops. I'm right?
Definitely right.
Yeah, how many tops do you think the winner is going to have?
You ask me so hard questions.
I have to make it a bit harder for you.
Let's say, I think there's gonna be a girl and a boy who tops all problems.
Cool. And here, Livia Scarlett walking slowly to the left. She really needs to keep to the wall in order to not be spit out of the wall on the slab. Starts very flat on the slabby on the right side. Moving to the very left, gets really steep on a 30 degree, where at the moment Tobias Mare is making a good progress into the crimp with the right hand. Tell us what he could be doing better in order to not fly out, Georg.
I mean, in the end, I guess it was also a physical game. So on a boulder like this, of course, we saw that the first move he got figured out quite quickly. But then in the end, the ending looks quite physically challenging and requires a lot of finger strength. So I would say I'm interested to see the difference in athletes concerning the top, and I think we're going to see people crushing the top for sure.
I like your definition, crushing the top. Whoa. He's being Maximilian Wagner on the taller side, managed to just span out and not have to do any coordination move.
That's actually something interesting in these categories. The differences in development and height in general. It's especially challenging for the route setters.
Yes, they don't know who's going to come out, right?
I mean, they know some athletes in the field, but still it's really hard to set around that's fair and around that's fun for everyone to climb.
Yeah, we were even seeing yesterday some athletes like Julia Fischer struggling on boulder number 3 in the finals, and people like Francis Scherer not having any problem with the beginning.
Exactly.
It's a hard, tough game, but they have to set boulders which are suited for everybody, and I think they did a perfect job yesterday. Let's see how it goes. The route setters for this youth category have been Patrick Sommer, Fabian Loy, Anja Savinik, and Berhard Reitlener. And let's see, because we are getting closer to the top on both boulder number 1 in the women and the men's side. That looks like a really hard small crib.
It does. Root setters are so mean. They just put us.
They covered the hold.
They cover it. Ah, they're so mean.
And here we have a replay of Flora Gaswinkler getting really close onto the zone, past the zone. And both athletes taking a little bit of a step back, having a look at the boulder, reading a little bit. Do you feel that if you were giving a lot of tries, you're getting to a lot more sweat in your fingertips, and then therefore you're not feeling a lot of friction? Or in boulders like that, where it's just a slab, you can just keep going and giving many, many tries?
Actually, never worry too much about the sweaty part, because you jog so much. That's not the issue. Of course, skin is an issue, but I'm not thinking about the more tries I do, the more I sweat on my fingers. It's more like, yeah, to make use of the power you have, and not waste any tries. But the tactics are really, really important in bouldering. So when do you make a go and make use of the go? What is the rest of the round gonna look like? What can I climb? Of course. And I was actually just wondering about the difference in tactics in the age groups. So I think we see a big difference now to the younger athletes. So yeah, they know more about competing and making use of every try, when to rest. You can see that they're thinking about it a lot more.
Yes, pretty interesting opinion. That's really clear to see now that you mention it.
Which is part of the development.
And now we're seeing Maximilian Wagner, probably his last try. He tried to jump to the top hold. He's going to do the same again. And he didn't look so far away, actually. The question is, if you hold it, your whole body is swinging so hard, you having to hold it, you're having to compensate and stabilize a lot.
Yeah, the whole swing looked really hard.
And joining onto the mats, Peter Teufel and Mara Matutinovic will be going for the first boulders, and Livia Scarlett and Tobias Mada will be on the second boulders. And Peter looking good here on his first attempt. Going for the Osloper first. We're going to see the first stop here. Whoa. Nice. And hold on. And Peter Teufel just got onto the top of the scoreboard by top boulder number 1. I believe that was a flash. So that would put him in a really strong position.
Yes, it was a flash.
Actually, when I saw Patrick Sommer testing the boulder, it was like that you had both holds on the hand, and it was a campus mob, pretty much. It was like almost into the edge, and then you held it, and yeah. It looked exactly the same as it was planned.
Really cool. I mean, he skipped the crimp. He didn't skip it, but he
utilized it just for going to the next one, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing a clear, harder start for the men on boulder number 2, where they have to hold this cheater slopey hold and create a lot of tension with the toe hook on the left. And it's pretty much a bicycle move, where you're stepping with the right and toe hooking with the left in order to create opposition to the hands. And then you have kind of like a pretty hard sequence.
Looks really hard, to be honest. to hold the swing on the second hold.
And that was the bicycle that we were just describing.
Even hard to hold the starting position, like you mentioned.
And I just saw in the corner of my eye, seeing Mara Matitovic almost jumping to the top. It looks like Levi Scarlett didn't go for the toe hook and just got a really strong pounder move.
Let's see if she's gonna try to use her toes on this one.
And Mara Matutinovic rolling around, getting a small crimp. It looks like a really, really small crimp.
She has a lot of control on her feet on boulder number 1.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's getting a lot of swing, Livia Scarlett, on boulder number 2. She's going with her hips really, really far on the right, and she wants to be a lot more to the left side, if she wants to get a toe hook, at least.
So you think she needs a lot more momentum?
I believe so.
Yeah, you might be right.
Now she got more momentum, but it was already halfway facing to the right. And that was a proper start by Tobias Mader from Villach. And I believe it's going to be timed out, but he gets a big applause from the crowd.
I'm excited for men's too.
I think this is going to be a pretty good boulder for Christian Leiner. He's has got a lot of power in his fingers.
I agree.
And coming down to the mats, Elise Winkler on boulder number 1 from Vorarlberg, and Jonas Wimmer, the local hero, on boulder number 1. Let's see what Jonas can do. He also trains in CC and in Blockhouse. And let's see what this young athlete has to say.
Ooh, is he gonna go for a slow version?
And we saw Flora Ganswinkler getting really high up on boulder number 2, probably the highest we have seen in this hall and the previous round. Chooses to take a little bit of step back, like you say, a bit more of a developed athlete, choosing to take her rest very carefully and making every single try count.
It's interesting that she brought her water bottle out on the mats. I've never done that before, but maybe I'm gonna start doing it when it's really hot outside.
Not a bad idea in summer, right?
Yeah, might be. Stay hydrated.
And Flora Geiswinkler choosing to brush a couple of holes. That foot hole is pretty poor. Flora looking really, really good. This time manages to stabilize.
Is it gonna be the first top?
And the first stop of the whole day for this boulder. Pretty strong position. I'm sure she's going to be on top of the board.
She was really excited.
Yes,
cool.
She looked pretty happy. Yes, and Flora, being the only athlete with one top, gets on the first position for now. We see Maximilian also struggling a little bit with this first start in boulder number 2 for the men. Not quite getting the tension that he requires. And here, Elise Winkler from Bludenz. Looking really good. She will be awarded the zone for sure.
Looking solid on the slab. Really trusting her feet there.
Now we're gonna see,
just falling out.
Such a heartbreaking thing when people are getting really close to the top but falling down.
You just want them to top it.
Yes. And slowly the people are coming more. People who are walking by, stopping and joining us.
Auf geht's, Jonas. Geht schon.
And then we see Patrick Sommer doing some last adaptations into the last boulder of the women round. And Jonas Wimmer making a really good solid attempt. We go left.
Oh, he's gonna go.
Yes.
He's gonna go for the. Oh,
Probably a heel hook on the zone hold would help him to stay on the wall, but 20 seconds to go, not a lot of time.
yeah, it was a good try. Is he gonna go for another one? Yes.
And it's going to be timed out for both athletes.
4 minutes are just nothing.
Well, the 4 minutes, everybody has 4 minutes.
It's true, but
But yes, there's not a lot of time for very tough bowls like those. And now joining us, Felix Schnuck from Salzburg and Sophie Kreuzberger from Carinthia.
but you really know the difference when you're on the mats and you have 4 minutes instead of 5. First you think it's just 1 minute, but it's a minute, and you feel it when you're on the mats.
And that's the third boulder we're going to see with the feet first. Yes, I guess there's a lot of difference between the minute that you have, but you also had the previous observation. Do you
Right.
prefer observation and 4 minutes, or no observation and 5 minutes?
I prefer observation, but it's hard to make or to be really quick in starting trying the boulder, because you still want to brush it, you still want to look at it a little, but ooh, yes.
On top of boulder number 3, he made
top on
so
that
much
three.
tension. And there we think maybe another top on boulder number 2 for the women. Wow,
Barely
she
holding
was
on.
really sagging
That
on the
was-
shoulders. That was pretty hard to see.
That was intense.
But she still has 2 minutes 20. There's plenty of time for her.
So yeah, time management gets more important when you only have 4 minutes, and you want to be really quick with starting the boulder, because actually you spend whole observation thinking about how to climb it. So you just go out, focus, and start trying, and maybe brush, of course. But
And now we are seeing a proper start, but doesn't quite hold it. Peter Teufel. And Mara Matutinovic looking really a lot better now.
looks promising.
Holds the top with one hand, she wants both hands. And the referee
That's
gives her a
it.
green card. We're starting to see more tops as the competition goes by. On the score field of the men, Tobias Mara running the first point, and Flora Ganswinkler with the only athlete one top and 2 zones, but now she will be for sure joined by Mara Tutonovic.
That was the first top on the female slab.
Yeah, that was Sophie Kreuzberger, if I'm correct, from Carinthia. Pretty good start. How does it feel for you when you're coming out and the first boulder goes perfect? Does it give you the motivation to keep on going?
I can't stress it enough. It's one of the most important parts of bouldering. It gives you such a boost when you start with a flash or something instead of not climbing the boulder. So it's on the one hand, it's really hard to get back into the round if you don't do it, especially if you know that other athletes are doing it, so you're already kind of behind. On the other hand, if you flash it and you get this kick of adrenaline, it gives you a push for the whole round.
Pretty interesting insights from Georg Palmer, joining me here on the box. And Livia Scarlett making good attempts, but unfortunately it's not going to be awarded the top and goes out empty-handed. And next round, We will see now Anja Wimmer, the sister of Jonas Wimmer from boulder number 1, and Moritz Janka from Austria.
The Wimmers are both on the mat.
Do you think Anja is one of the athletes which prefers more like a slow slab or more of a powerful?
I'm not too sure. We'll see how she does on a slab. I would say I'm gonna say she's gonna like the slab.
And here we see a top. I believe that was a flash. Pretty strong performance from the athlete.
They're just cruising M3.
And the scores are Maximilian Wagner, followed by Tobias Mader and Peter Teufel on the men, and Flora Geiswinkler, followed by Maja Matutonovic and Sophie Kreuzberger on the women. We've seen some tops, not too many tops. I think the route setters are doing a pretty good job. And Jonas Wimmer not having such a bad start on men's too. Looking really, really strong here. Livia Scarlett on boulder number 3. This is the highest we have seen any athlete. I'm very interested in see how she's going to do that. She needs to get into a palm press with the right and flies out.
Is there a screw on in the top hold?
I believe there's a screw on the very last hold, the cheetah hold. But I am not so sure. It's a bit hard to see from here.
I think so. We'll see. If she crimps something, it's not going to be air. So
and Anja looking a bit more progress in boulder number 1. Those pointy holds, they're terrible. And let's see boulder number 2 if she can get this toe hook. And she just holds it. So no toe hook as we previously discussed. A little bit round kick to the wall to stop the swing. And Flora going again into boulder number 3.
let's see what she has left in the tank.
A top would put her in a really, really good position. 6 seconds to go, and foot pops out and falls down.
It's crazy. Did you just see how precise she was when kicking her foot out to that small foothold? It's crazy when you're already that tired and you're still able to come that precise.
Yes, speed and precision. It's pretty important, I guess, when it comes to this level of climbing.
Sometimes you climb more efficiently when you're tired, actually, I have the feeling. Just make quicker decisions. And
yeah, how do you manage when it comes to boulders? Do you give everything you have in the tank for every single boulder? Do you say, okay, this is not going to be possible, I'm going to leave some energy for the next, especially having so many rounds of boulders and so many rounds in this competition in these 4 days. Yeah, what is your intake into that?
Yeah, it definitely has a tactical aspect, and it gets more important the longer the competition lasts. And also depends on the round a lot. But yeah, I try to when I'm in front of the boulder, I just try to top it. Like I think it's not like really part of the, or you couldn't call it sportsmanship to just stop trying the boulder. But of course, I can decide on how many attempts I make, and if I don't see any progress, I might just rest a lot more.
And Mara Matunovic looking really strong here on boulder number 3, getting really high up, and slips out. And here we have also the athlete from Carinthia, Mara Thomas, who was just trying this roll over the left hand, trying to catch this shoulder move with the right hand. And we are seeing a judge having a little bit of a ward. I believe he maybe didn't do a proper start.
Actually, on F2, we just saw the toe hold catch for the first time.
The people are getting so louder, and they're getting quite a lot of emotions going through when their athletes are getting higher. Wow, that was a pretty amazing performance on boulder number 1. He went for a completely different solution, and that was the toe catch that Georg was mentioning. Worked perfectly, and that is the rollover. Simon looking really strong here on boulder number 1. 1 minute to go, and here we have also glanced at boulder number 4. That's the last rotation for Livia Scalet from Upper Austria. And the best of the men have 1 top, same as the women. So the number of tops is going to be crucial to have a podium here. 30 seconds left for Simon Tauber. Simon Tauber almost sticking it, but doesn't quite hold onto the wall.
It's interesting that Peter, if I'm correct, was the only one topping number 1.
I believe so.
And now he didn't top M3. So that's interesting because the other 2 athletes topped M3. So it's still thrilling.
And Annika Däubler from Upper Austria, it's just jumped into the marks, same as Luca Nündel. And most of the athletes choosing to brush those holds. I mean, those boulders have already been climbed by the U12, and they're getting quite a lot of chalk. It's probably a good idea to give it a couple of brushes to maximize friction.
You're right, I haven't thought about that holds have been climbed on, or part of the holds.
And here we see on boulder number 1 the lambada that we were talking about, and almost sticks the 1, 2, 3 Luca Nündel. He being one of the shorter athletes cannot just step on the very low illusion hold. He has to swing his whole body. And Anya just getting the toe catch on boulder number 2 for the female. This looks really promising for her. Going for a completely different solution, Anya. Really on boulder number 2. Looks really promising. And that's a top for Anya Wimmer from Graz, the local hero from Graz.
That
was a cheeky heel hook.
Yeah, that was cheeky. You have to make use of your height sometimes, and she just did that perfectly.
Yeah, knowing your body and knowing your possibilities and your reach is part of the game, and you can see pretty much that these athletes just know themselves so much better than the U12. And here on boulder number 2, we're seeing a little bit more progress. We have not seen so much progress before.
Do you think it?
Yes?
Do you think it's a cross to the zone?
I believe it's a cross to his own, yeah.
What else? Matching it?
He was trying to match it, but I think probably you have to set the heel hook on the right and then cross to the zone hole with the left.
You think a heel hook?
There's a little flat hold, and I think you're meant to heel hook.
It's kind of...
we're going to see it top on boulder number 1. Yes, Annika Deubler just manages to top. Perfect start of her round. And 30 seconds left to go. Let's see what Moritz has to do. There's where he got with the right. He has to set the heel hook on the right side, but doesn't quite manage to pull up. And boulder number 1 is looking really good with Luca. Topping on the last 3 seconds the boulder.
That was awesome. What a hero.
What a hero.
Actually, he kind of reminds me of myself when I was that age, because I also had long blonde hair.
And we're stopping also many boulders.
At that age, I'm not sure.
So now the best from the women is Flora Gansvischkel with 2 tops in 2 tries. And the best of the men is Mara Tobias with also 2 tops and 3 zones. And Pare Jonas just came to the mat and looks pretty strong. Setting the heel hook perfectly as planned. Looking like he's going to go for a flash, and flash is the first boulder.
That was interesting. Now we saw a difference in physical strength.
Abilities, yeah.
Yeah, ability strength.
And another top on boulder number 3. Maybe we can hold the replay, and that's the toe hook that we were saying on boulder number 2 for the women. For Marusa, who gets a helicopter spin. We also are able to see the first Spanish, Martin Galamacia. And the furthest we have seen from boulder number 2 from Simon Tauber.
Simon secures the zone.
That's the heel hook. Wow.
Oh, nice spade zone. It still looks brutal.
Yeah. And Sophie Kreuzberger looking really, really further up on the wall. We have not seen a top of this boulder yet. So a top would leave her in a really good position.
Ah, I just got it now, that it's a clock. I feel quite stupid on men too. You suppose he did a cross to the zone, and he went down, and he went back to the crimp, and
yeah.
Did he? Or did he? I'm not sure now.
He did.
Right?
That was definitely a clock, yeah.
No, sorry, he went with the right hand to the zone. Then
went with the left.
Crimp.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I think he went with the right hand, had the crimp in the left hand, went down with the right hand, and then went with the left hand to the pocket. So he had to match the crimp, I would say. Let's hope he shows us his beta again.
He still has 1 minute 13, so plenty of time. Not too many tops on the women's side. And already Maximilian Wagner in second position with 2 tops and 4 zones. So there we are. We're seeing boulder number 2. He just matched the small crimp.
Maybe we should explain what a clock is.
Yeah, if you wish.
So for those of you wondering, it's when the sequence of the holds you take is kind of reminds you of a clock. So you have first you have the hold, for example, with the right hand, and after some movements you have it with the left, in order to move past this crux.
Yes, and now we just saw a top from Marusha on boulder number 2. Super strong performance. And let's see if we can see a bit more of boulder number 4. Not many people have made it to this committing move. But yeah, that was a perfect explanation of what a clock is, I would say.
I'm not sure. I tried my best.
Told me to help yourself. And here the local hero, Christian Leitner.
With a big smile. I like it.
I like it too. And Raute Jacoba from Tyrol. Christian is also on the shorter side when you compare all these athletes. He's probably going to have to do a lambada, have to swing his body and go for the 1, 2, 3. But he's on the other side, one of the athletes with more finger strength. So maybe the following boulders going to be suiting him a little bit better.
I'm excited to see him now on the top section of number 1.
And Jonas Wimmer is on boulder number 4. And a fast stop on boulder number 3 from Luca. From Moritz Janka. And there we have the local hero, Christian Leitner, on his first attempt. Not reaching enough height to hold it, but getting close. And Anja looking really strong. Anja Wimmer.
Now, if there wasn't a screw-on on that top, I would be, my mind would be blown away. So now we know there's a screw-on.
So Anja Wimmer just got onto the first position with 2 tops and 3 zones on 3 tries.
I placed my bets right.
Yes.
Oh,
So I guess I lost an ice cream to you.
Christian sticking the lambada and securing the top.
And an impressive performance from Christian Leitner. Perfect start. I get a cheeky smile. He has tattooed on his shoulders of a steel blockhouse.
Team Blockhouse. I'm actually now that I see him climb and I see what routes he's trying on rock, I'm kind of scared when he grows up and we're gonna train in Blockhouse together and he's just gonna crush me someday. But yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Happily, climbing is a technical sport and it's not all about power. So
It's true.
but yeah, we wish him the best. And we're seeing now Jonas making also progress as his sister on boulder number 4. That was also quite a committing move. You have to hold the tension between 2 and looked pretty comfortable. And it's a top from Jonas Wimmer. Perfect ending of the round. Let's see where he comes into the position.
He didn't do...
Not actualized yet, so we still need to be actualized the scores. He was sitting on 5th, but he didn't get awarded yet the top. And now has been awarded top. And the last position, it's already Toulouse. Jonas Wimmer will remain on 5th position. That's the best score he can already do. It's not going to be enough, unfortunate. But his sister's looking on top of the leaderboard with 2 tops and 3 zones. And last athletes of today's final, Alexander Na and Nina Henschel. And doesn't quite stick the coordination move in the first go. And a top, a really, really fast top from Simon Tauber.
Seems like either you top number 3 really quickly or you don't do it at all.
Another top from the Spanish athlete, Martingela Maizia. And Simon just got into second position with one top and 2 zones, I believe. Sorry, 1 top and 3 zones for Simon Tauber. And Alexander looking really strong, making progress in boulder number 1. Holding into the crimp. And now holding the tension.
Yeah, doing the intended beta, I would say.
I'm gonna see another top on the women's number 3.
Ooh.
That's the,
Nice.
that was the intended solution for the root setters plant for Marusha. Doing this hip.
What do you call it now? Is it a hip stall? I don't know. Is it
A hip bar?
a hip bar? Yeah, maybe a hip bar.
A hip jump, hip bar.
Hip jam.
Yes, we also saw Alexander Na topping boulder number 1. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see Christian Leitner and Alexander Na fighting for the first position, as both of them top boulder number 1. And Jonas Bader consolidating a good start at boulder number 2. Looking really strong, the Tironian athlete. It almost looks like boulder number 4 is a little bit, I don't know, he can reach it proper.
Actually, up until now, the height wasn't that much of a limiting factor. Of course, some of the taller athletes could break the beta on some, especially on men's 1. But apart from that, I would say the root setters have done a quite good job.
Yes. Wow, that's holding onto the wall.
Are we gonna see the
Jonas
clock again?
Bader looking really good.
Or is he gonna match it?
Is he gonna do a hand swap?
Ooh.
It looked a little bit too far away, to be honest. I believe this is meant to be a shoulder move to the crimp that is blocked with a screw and hold. But he's also not the tallest of the athletes, so let's see what the other ones can do. And are you planning to qualify for Paris 2024?
That's a dream, but dream big, I would say. But yeah, I hope that the combination of bouldering and lead will suit me quite well, since I've always tried to be strong in both disciplines. And yeah, let's hope my body doesn't get in the way, and I can train as hard as I want to.
Yeah, pretty inspiring to see an athlete like you who in the last 2 years suffered some of injuries that would hold them back, and still comes back really strong and really with a lot of motivation. That's really inspiring, I guess, for all these young athletes who are coming to the mat and who are climbing next to you in Blockhouse. Yeah, pretty impressive. Props to you.
Thanks.
And let's see
to stay motivated.
let's see what here the local Christian Leitner has to do on boulder number 2. I think this is going to suit him pretty well. He's really strong.
Yeah, I agree. I hope he does the clock. I'm a big fan of the clock. Oh, he
goes
breaks
for the cross move. And
Really great
this
effort.
is the highest we have seen anybody on boulder number 2.
I
If he
think he's
tops
gonna
it,
top
he is going to be the first on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It's a flash for Christian Leitner. And the people go crazy. Big smile.
That was kind of a key moment, I would say, in the comp for him.
And I believe Anya also topped. She's going away. And another top. Sending train on the mat.
Standing train is back in the station.
That was Jakoba Rauter topping. And again, here goes Moritz Janka.
Und auch der Moritz braucht er jetzt noch beim Viertboulder. Geht schon, Moritz, auf geht's, gehen wir. Nimmt sich noch die Zeit.
That was the intended idea, and I guess your whole body has to swap to the left, so roll to the left, and then you stop the swing using the left foot against the lower big 360 sphere at the bottom. No top so far on boulder number 4. No,
we've got a
sorry,
top.
we have a local top
Yes. By Jonas Wimmer.
by Jonas Wimmer.
But we didn't get to see the beta on the bottom, did we?
No, we didn't get to see. If somebody's wondering what this beta thing that just Georg mentioned, beta is just another fancy word for a solution that climbers use to discuss methods. And we have not seen yet a solution of this move being achieved and being done. So hopefully in the next 40 seconds, we're going to be able to see this young athlete, Moritz Janka from Lower Austria, getting a bit further up. And Christian Leine is sitting currently in first position with 2 tops in 3 tries, followed by the Luca Nunder with 2 tops in 9 tries. And then the women, the local Anne Wimmer with 2 tops and 3 zones. Sorry, 3 tops and 4 zones in 4 tries.
Yeah, she's
For
in a
Anne
really
Wimmer.
good position.
And every single athlete choosing to brush all the holds. They're getting quite wide, quite chossy. Remember, you don't only want to choose the holds for your hands to be clean, but also the ones that you're going to place your feet, especially in the slab. And you want to keep your boots clean. And here we're seeing the Spanish athlete on boulder number 3. And that was the clock that Georg was explaining in boulder number 3. And looking pretty strong here. She needs to get herself up, holds the crimp, and it's the top for Martin Galamatia.
Sorry, I was quiet for a while, but I was just paying attention to when the athletes are starting their boulders and how much time they take to brush the holds. And I think it was the first athlete was on the boulder in 3:35, and the last maybe in 3:15 or something.
Yes.
So yeah, if you start at 3:15, you have to imagine you only have kind of 3 minutes left, so it makes a difference.
Yes. I believe so. Another top from Nina Henschel, and we just saw the scores. and I might be winning the Austrian to you. I hope not, but on the women's side, we saw the Spanish athlete with 3 tops, and she still has not finished her rotation. So if she tops the next one, you might be owing me an ice cream, Georg.
Wait, do we have that on tape?
You didn't agree, but it's all set, you know. And 4th boulder, we're seeing also a lot of progression from the young athlete Marusha Porovic.
I think I'm gonna grant you the healthy amount of nationalism you have right now in this go. So Dave, do you feel more of an Austrian now, or?
I mean, I'm adopted here, I should say yes, if I want to keep my job.
Yeah?
Nah, Graz is a very beautiful city, and you guys make the whole atmosphere such nice people in Graz. Thanks a lot, Georg, for making this stance of mine here. Yeah, definitely, I feel really welcome by you guys, and it's really nice to be here, sharing this climbing world and lots of fun here in Graz. Definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to come here. Nice people, a Mediterranean flair. There's a lot of sun, more sun than I was expecting. Yeah, and that we just saw a top of Alexander Nahr walking away the mats. So Bare Jonas just took the 1st position with 2 tops and 3 zones, but Christian has not yet done his 3rd boulder, so he has a lot to say yet.
Still in the game. And since M3 is a physical one,
and is probably on the softer side in comparison to the 2nd one, but also being quite of a burly compression move, he's also a little bit smaller, not going to be maybe so easy to compress. But yeah, being on the easier side, hopefully we're going to see a top from from Christian Leitner. Sorry.
I'm going to go for a flash here, but we'll see.
Going for a flash? Yeah, I'm going to go for 2. And here he goes, Christian Leitner on his 1st try.
Kind of hesitating with the beta a little.
There we're going to see a whole angle. Stepping precise. With Scarpa being one of the main sponsors.
Yeah, I think now
we're going to see, I think he's in the game.
Top. Yes.
No problem for Christian Leitner with 3 tops in 4 tries. 2 flashes, and the 1st boulder, he did it on the 2nd go.
But he was struggling a little on the beginning, and he was really trusting his left foot on that small screw on, and almost falling out on the beginning, but then he kept it together and crushed it.
And now we saw the intended beta on boulder number 4 for the men. And Luca Nindel choosing to brush the holes again. Let's see if we can see another repetition of his move, and he can stick the move.
That would be nice.
Going for another go onto this run start.
Really nice run in.
Controls the zone, no problem. Controls the start, sorry. We get a pretty good overview.
Still has 2 minutes on the clock. Enough time.
Let's see Luca if he can get this move.
Not quite sticking it.
And Jakob Rauter looking really good here, making progression. Same as Annika. Looking really, really strong, Annika. Both athletes really high onto the wall. Now we're gonna see a proper scene off the top on boulder number 4, and she secures the top.
That was a sneaky thumb. Did you see that?
Yes.
She put her thumb in the, how do you call that?
Into the T-nut?
Is it T-nut? Yeah.
Into the T-nut of the hold.
Yeah. Why you put the big screw in?
Yes.
Sneaky, sneaky.
And this is a replay of the athlete Jakoba, who's going to give another try in the last 30 seconds. And Luca Nündel on boulder number 4, going for a different solution. And that was the last 10 seconds of the rotation. And so far on the men's, leading Christian Leiner, followed by Jonas and Luca Nündel. And on the women's side, starting Anja, followed by Gaila Martin-Mastia and Annika Debler. All of them have 3 tops, but Martin Galia Matia didn't finish her rotation, so it's not over. And now she's going for her last boulder. She tops, she's going to be first.
This is an interesting moment now.
And
Let's
it does
see.
look very promising for the Spanish athlete.
Ooh,
I think we're going to see a flash, and I'm going to have an answer.
Ooh.
And
Okay,
it's
I'm
a
gonna
flash
catch
for the
it, yeah.
Spanish one. Gaila Matia standing on first position. Also, Nina Henschel looking really strong, making big progress on boulder number 4, and a lot of athletes finishing the boulders with a lot of time remaining. That was a little bit salt too fast. It's not over until it's over. She needs to control it. From Switzerland, Nina Henschel, really close. And Jonas almost taking the quaddy move.
So close. What a cool move.
It has to be a dream for any route setter to be here in the biggest event that Graz has ever seen, with all new holds in such an international competition. And people are getting more and more loud as all these climbers are topping more and more boulders. Wow, that is facing the public.
In the crowd, nice.
Nice.
We've already seen 3 different methods for the top on this one.
Pretty good effort from Nina Henschel from Switzerland.
That was my favorite, I have to say.
Yes, that was.
Racing in the crowd was my favorite.
I'm interested on how Christian is going to be on the 4th boulder. I wouldn't say he's bad on the coordination, but I don't think his strength. And yes, he being one of the, yes, that's what we're talking about. That was the move.
That
Yeah,
is
he
the move.
being on the shorter side, he's not going to have it so easier to roll over.
Ooh, going for the static method or jumping. No, now.
I think maybe you could do a chicken wing if you were really going for it, but
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to just
Going.
hold both hands.
Nicely done. And slapping it.
That was a very proud effort from the athlete of Tyrol, Jonas Pada. And if somebody was wondering what a chicken wing is, it's basically when you're jamming your elbow with your, so the both, on boulder number 4, there's 2 big massive spheres, and if you were jamming the elbow to the hand, into the crack, that is, then you get a chicken wing. But I don't think that is gonna be really easy, and the crank is like an off width is really
Yeah,
bad.
it's pretty wide.
Yeah. But yeah, that was well done for the Austrian athlete.
Yeah, well done. I'm not too much of an expert on crack climbing, so.
Well, it was really funny because the first time that I commented in Boulderama, the white boys heard the flipperoo thing, and then they just sent me a video where they're explaining a lot of things, and there were crazy things like there's a technique where you're jamming really inside, and they were calling it fisting a cow, and that was like searching for dungeon. So pretty crazy names into the crack jamming world. But let's see what let's see what Christian Leiner has to say of his last boulder, and he's having a pretty perfect round. Assures the start.
I'm excited what Christian is doing on M4. Let's see about his slab skills.
So
going for a static method here. Now
Christian Leiner, who needs top. If he wants to be first, he's sitting second behind Jonas Bada, who managed to complete his rotation with 3 tops and 4 zones.
but now he secured the zone. Where does that put him? I'm not sure.
That's going to be quite interesting, yes.
Yeah.
He's sitting in first position.
Sure.
So if he tops it, he's going to be the winner, because now Alexander didn't top boulder number 2, I believe. And if he doesn't, and Alexander tops boulder number 4, unless he has to flush it, then... But hopefully we're not going to need to see that, and we're going to see Christian Leiner managing 4 tops, the only climber with 4 tops. That's such a perfect score that we want to see. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Creating more tension. I mean, he's already been there. He still has 2 minutes. It's plenty of time.
Yeah.
He just needs to get a bit higher with his whole body.
Just has to keep it together now. But that's...
But he's sitting on first position, so... I mean, now Alexander would have to top it on the go. He would have to flush the boulder. And it's a pretty low percentage boulder.
Yeah, but then it will go back to countback, am I right?
Then we would go back to comeback. And Alexander is sitting in a better position than Christian, so...
But what about bonus tries? I think they're the same, right?
They're the same, yes.
Yeah. So still quite exciting.
And Jakob Arata not making a lot of progress on boulder number 4. She being one of the shorter athletes and not being able to come very far away. Let's see if Christian can do again the boulder. Not quite swinging enough with the left foot. Yes, no problem with the running start. Come on, Julian. Christian. I think he's getting a little bit stressed about the clock and is rushing a little bit. And this is kind of a boulder where you cannot rush it, but he now got the time that he wanted.
So
You just have to
together.
commit. Really going for the...
Oh my God,
Ah.
that's heartbreaking.
That's very heartbreaking. He really didn't want to commit, and it's a little bit stressed that he didn't manage to do it. I think we saw a little bit of frustration, a pretty expressive climber.
But still, Alexander has to flash it.
Alexander has to flash it, and he would win because of countback. So let's see what Alexander has to say. It's now or never.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's he knew that he could top it, or it would be important to top it, and you have this movement where you know, okay, it's kind of a dynamic movement, but maybe I can do it statically and do it more securely. But then maybe it might be the wrong decision, you know. Sometimes the static version might be more safe, but a lot harder in this case.
Yes, true. So Alexander now just burned 2 goes, So I don't believe he can be first position. If he makes another 2 goes, he would be on second position. And if he doesn't top it, he would remain on third position. So I think that was the win for Christian Leitner, the local hero.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
And Nina Henschel from Switzerland, no problem with the shoulder move. Nina has also 3 tops, and he only needs 1 more top. But she could be maximum second, because the Spanish athlete, and she just topped it. Both athletes, Mathia Gaila and Nina Henschel, got to the tops, but Nina got in 13 tries, and therefore Martin Gaila Mathia sitting on first position, second position Nina Henschel, and third but not least Anja Wimmer, the local hero. And now we're seeing Alexander Na really close. We have seen
Still the static
Christian.
method. Cool.
It's not over until it's over, and now he gets awarded the top.
It was quite a close battle between those.
That was a very close battle. And there we see a close shot from the 2. And he's going to be sitting on second position, just 3 tries behind Christian Leitner. What a interesting and exciting final. That was a very, very well placed final from the route setters. And we're going to...
So wait, I was again wrong actually. I said in both categories we're going to have 4 tops.
Yes, but
we didn't.
I was good with the guessing. No, but it was pretty close, and the women got a 4 top, so you were really close there. Pretty good judgment. We're going to be followed by the flower ceremony, so I'm going to let you can be free and enjoy your night. Thanks a lot, Georg. Yeah, enjoy your night, enjoy the food, recover, because tomorrow you have a long day, and I hope the best for you tomorrow in the semi-final. Hope we see the whole day more of Georg Palmer.
Let's hope. I'm really excited to climb tomorrow night. That would be a dream.
Yes, from the home crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you could consider yourself also a Grazer now?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, my heart is still beating for Low Austria, I have to say. But no, yeah, of course, a little bit.
I hope we don't hear this so much in Blockhouse. Now, thanks a lot again, and all the best tomorrow.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. And until next time.
And those were the words from Georg Palmer, who was helping me on the commentating, hosting, and guiding you guys in this very interesting and roller coaster evening of the U12 and U14. Tomorrow we're going to have more with the semi-final round of the Masters in the morning, followed by the final of the Youth 16 in the evening, followed by the finals of the Masters at night. My name is David Patterson, and we're going to be surely having a little bit of a replay of the last moments of today and the finals. The scores as we have been followed. Gaila Mattia with the best 4 tops in 6 tries, followed by Nina and by Anja. And on the men's side, the local hero, Christian Leitner, followed by Alexander Na. And last but not least, on 3rd position, the Tyrolean, Bade Jonas. Got a difference between tries. Alexander got it in 7 tries, Christian in 4, and Jonas on 8 tries. And those are the route setters bringing out the holds, because they have to be setting for tomorrow the other team of route setters for the for the semi-final round of the Bloc Masters. And surely we will be having a flower ceremony.
von unserem Skater-Gewinnspiel. Und dann der anwesende Luki vom Skaterlager. Einmal auf die Bühne bitte. Einen großen Applaus für Luki. Und der erste Gewinner ist der Wolfgang Steiner. Bitte einmal auf die Bühne kommen. Einen großen Applaus für den Wolfgang. Und der nächste Gewinner, der David Hassler. Einen Riesenapplaus bitte. Und der Toni Baumann. Wo ist der Anton Baumann? Ah, da ist er schon. Ein Riesenapplaus für den Toni. Nicht nur Gewinner, sondern auch einer der Judges und Helfer. Einmal das Mikrofon für unseren Organisator Stefan Stoffel-Czerner.
Ja, für alle, die sich jetzt fragen, warum haben die drei Herrschaften da jetzt einen Gutschein gewonnen. Wir haben ja im Vorfeld von diesem Bewerb einen Publikumsbewerb veranstaltet, die Bloc Summer Sessions, wo in 5 Boulderhallen, also im Blockhaus, Boulder Club, Newton, Boulder Point Leoben und im CAC 30 Boulder zu bewältigen waren und man konnte sich über diesen Publikumsbewerb qualifizieren, auch hier für das Semifinale beziehungsweise eben für die Kinder auch fürs Finale. Und da gab es ein Gewinnspiel, da wurden im Vorfeld schon diese Preise verlost. Deshalb hier jetzt die Übergabe und ich möchte hier die Gelegenheit nutzen, mich auch bei der Firma Scapa zu bedanken, ganz herzlich. Im Blockhaus sowieso immer ein zuverlässiger Partner und auch hier beim Bewerb. Vielen Dank, Riesenapplaus für die Firma Scapa. Und ich übergebe wieder das Mikrofon an unseren MC.
Danke, Stoffel. Nächster Programmpunkt, die Siegerehrung der Kategorie U12 weiblich. Und zwar am 3. Platz die Anna Erhardt. Ein Riesenapplaus für die Anna.
And then we have the U12 third place.
Und für die Zweitplatzierte Anja Meyer. Bitte auch einen Riesenapplaus. Ein Riesenapplaus für die Anja.
Coming to second position.
Ist hier super geklettert vor dem Heimpublikum. Und die Erstplatzierte Lilly Fischer. Ein Riesenapplaus
Lilly
auch
Fischer
für die Lilly,
on the
bitte.
golden medal. And that is Stoffel Czerner, the CEO of Blockhaus and main
Die drei
organizer
stärksten
of the
Mädels aus
Bloc
der
Summer
Kategorie
Graz
U12.
from Bergfuchs.
Einen großen Applaus noch für die drei. Und weiter geht's mit den Burschen der Kategorie U12. Der drittplatzierte Darian Duka. Ein Riesenapplaus.
Darian Duha on the third position for the men's U12. These young athletes, very strong position.
Am zweiten Platz der Nikolaus Oeker. Ein Riesenapplaus auch für ihn.
Oeker, second position.
Der stolze kleine
Silver
Mann.
medal.
Super stark klettert. Sichtlicher Freude über seinen zweiten Platz.
And on
Und
the
einmal bitte alle Hände
gold,
freimachen für einen Riesenapplaus. Für
Julian
unseren Julian
Leitner,
Leitner. Erster
the
Platz.
local hero from Graz, gets a big
Gratulation.
applause from the audience and fist bumps. Friendly competition.
Ein Riesenapplaus noch einmal für die drei Top-Platzierten der Kategorie U12 männlich.
And those were the 3 places from the male youth 12. And a big smile from Julian Leitner, who just made his dream come true. being the first on his home country, hometown, here in Graz, in the middle of the city, in Marie-Hilfe Square. And there we have Santiago Leneterri and Stoffel Tschirner,
Und weiter
who have been
geht's.
hosting us.
Am dritten Platz der Kategorie U14 weiblich. Ein Riesenapplaus bitte für die Anja Wimmer.
And
Vor
Anja
meinem
Wimmer
Publikum.
on
Riesenapplaus.
Bronze medal, the local climber from Blockhaus. She did really well, and therefore she deserved a bronze medal.
Und am zweiten Platz, super stark geklettert auch die Nina Henschel. Einmal ein Riesenapplaus auch für sie.
Nina Henschel
Gratulation.
Switzerland on second silver medal.
Und am ersten Platz, on the first place, Marcia Martin Gaila. Einen
Marcia Martin Gaila
Riesenapplaus.
on golden
Gratulation.
place. An awesome position from the Spaniard.
Das sind die drei stärksten Mädels
And
aus
those
der
were the
Kategorie
three
U14.
Podiums for the
Einmal
women's
noch in die Hände klatschen bitte, einen
U14.
Riesenapplaus. Der Starter fährt sehr stark. An dritter Stelle Jonas Bader. Gratulation. Auf den zweiten Platz konnte sich der Alexander Nahr klettern. Gratulation auch an ihn. Super klettert Alex. Und noch einmal die Hände frei machen. Einen Riesenapplaus für unseren Christian Leitner. Erster Platz. Einmal noch ein Riesenapplaus für die drei Top-Platzierten der Kategorie U14 männlich. Hier beim Bergfuchs Bloc Summer Mastersbewerb. Morgen geht's weiter, morgen in der Früh mit dem Semifinale des Mastersbewerbs. Es wird schon umgebaut. Am Nachmittag geht's dann los mit dem ersten Finale U16 der Youngsters und am Abend dann das große Finale der Erwachsenen. Danke an alle Volunteers, an alle Sponsoren. Wir sehen uns morgen in aller Frische hier am Marie-Hilfer-Platz in Graz.
And that was the finals of the youth 14 and 12, the flower ceremony. And tomorrow we're going to be followed by the semi-final round of the Bloc Masters, starting at 10 a.m. Then in the evening we will be having the final of the youth 16, followed by the great final of the youth, the Bloc Masters, sorry. The final taken in the evening place tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and that was everything from me. That was an awesome evening, and we see more of each other tomorrow. Thanks a lot.